Hey, hi, hello, and good afternoon. My name is Amanda, and welcome to Harmony Portal Tarot Live. How is everybody today? Still working at getting my voice fully back. It still kind of squeaks on the higher register. How is everybody? It's Friday. Got one kid home, and no, not because he's sick. He's feeling much better. It's just there's parent-teacher conferences this last week and this week, and they have a day off randomly. But my older one is at school. Make sure I'm going. Email. I'm gonna get my email up on this computer just in case we get any donations. It's just easier to check on two different machines rather than try to toggle back and forth between the camera on this one. Let's see. All right, we are rocking and rolling. How is everybody? We're gonna be doing not as long, I guess, as an introduction as we did on Wednesday. If you missed Wednesday's shows, it was definitely a must-see as far as the information that came out. If you want to know more about how astrology can be so accurate and to get it even more accurate by using the Babylonian astrology for yourself to see just how accurate it is. So accurate, in fact, I would argue that we almost have no free will, which is kind of scary. Hi, Daisha. I hope I'm saying your name correctly. Welcome, welcome. But today, we're going to talk about how tarot works so well. Even if you're somebody who doesn't really, do a lot of tarot or you don't know much about tarot, even if you pull your own cards and then you look up what they mean, per the question you're asking, how can this be so accurate? Of course, my answer will fall in line very similarly to where it is with the different astrologies, and especially you don't want to be using like tropical astrology. I mean, you can still learn about yourself. I mean, the squares and the sextiles and the conjunctions and all that will remain the same from different astrology type to another. But if you want the most accurate, down to the moment, again, I really broke this down in the last live stream, so I won't go too deep into it. But down to the day that my house burned down on August 14th, 1995, it said in that time in the Varshafala using my sidereal Vedic Parashara's Light astrology software, it said that I would lose my home to fire on that day. I mean, I took like the most horrible days of my life and plugged those in, and the dates all lined up. When I cut my part of my finger off, it said I would have a calamity. So I mean, it may not be as accurate as boiling down to, oh, you're going to lose your home to fire, but like injury, illness, people dying in your life, you can find all of this in your chart. And that should not be the case if we have free will, or at least as much free will as we are led to believe we have. And the same applies for the tarot. It already knows. And I did say this guy's channel wrong on the last live stream, so apologies if you did go looking for him. It's not Decode the Matrix, it's Decode Your Reality. So that's the channel, and it's a smiley face as a logo. Decode Your Reality, it's Logan. He'll break this down, how you can use Chaldean numerology and other types of numerology, even the tarot, astrology, and how everything, all the world's a stage and all the men and women merely players. I mean, Shakespeare, if that is the only person that wrote that, had it right. And we are out here, each and every one of us, every day, day after day, living out our script. Even if we don't know we're under a script, we are under a script. All of that said, though, we still do have that fractal of spirit that comes from outside this video game, if we want to call it that, that has a little bit of say. And that's what I want each and every one of us to focus on, if you so choose, to try to live your light from your spirit and what your true spirit wants for you. Not even your soul, because your soul is also a matrix construct. That's again why the Akashic Records exists. It's a copy of everything that's ever happened, because it's happened and it's programmed and it's there. So Again, I ran through this on the last live stream. I ran everybody through the website and what I would use, but I would basically just go to ask, okay, why are we getting ads again already? I told them not to put ads on this, and this happened last live stream. Just ads, 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 ads. I skip the ads, but every 5 minutes until I'm not live anymore, it's gonna pop up, hey, we're running ads in 30 or 59 seconds. Anyway, to use the most accurate astrology we have available to us, this is what the matrix controller or the matrix is set up exactly to this astrology, not tropical, not even just sidereal, regular, or Vedic. This is even more fine-tuned and dialed in. Go to astroseek.com. I'm sure there are other places you can find the Fagan Bradley Ayanamsha, but I know for sure it's on AstroSeek, so that's where I'm directing everybody to go that wants to know the ins and the outs of who they are and what their script is. So it's the astroseek.com, and then you go underneath the logo there where it says birth chart horoscope or something like that. Click that, and then you're going to have this little menu where you can add your birth details and everything. And let me go back to the website here. And of course, you want to be selecting the Fagan Bradley Ayanamsha or house system. And you want the equal, and then in parentheses it says VEHLOW, VEHLOW system, to also run your chart through that. So this will make it so that if you're already a tropical astrology follower, it shouldn't be news to you that the houses aren't sometimes just one sign. The whole house system that Vedic astrology uses, it would put your whole first house as Libra, or your whole first house as Scorpio, and then the second would be Sagittarius, and then on and on and on. But in this way, you might have part of your first house in Virgo and the other part of it in Libra, like I do. And all the rest of your houses will be drawn up from that point. So once you get that, you can go down, make sure it's under the various sidereal Ayanamshas. It's the fourth one down, Fagan Bradley. And the difference I was using before, I was still using sidereal, but I was using the Lahiri zodiac or sidereal zodiac Ayanamsha of Lahiri rather than Fagan Bradley. And I can never say Bradley right. And that is as close to the original Babylonian astrology when the matrix was literally, and these, this net was really put up over us to control everything, lock and loaded and control everything. That's when that happened. And if you want to hear or read about this exact event happening, you can look into Marduk, Marduk, I think is how you spell it, and how he basically placed the moon, is in control of the moon, and how the moon is basically in control of all of us. So the moon is not something we want to be paying much attention to. Oh, thank you so much, Banana Anna S. Yeah, I love this little jacket. It's actually like a navy blue, but that might be kind of hard to tell in this lighting. Didn't turn this light on, but that's even going to help us in here. Hi, Linda. Yeah, and another thing you can do to really figure out, they place as though they place the ascendant in the middle of the first house. Yes. Instead of starting at the first house like in Plaza. Yes, and that's how, because it used to be just your whole first house was one sign. The whole second house was another sign, at least when I would run it through Lahiri and do like the North Indian chart on Parashara's Light software that I have. But now your house is going to be kind of split in half with a different sign, the following sign. So it's very interesting how maybe some of your planets are still the same. If you have like later degree planets already, they may remain the same from tropical to Western, or tropical to the Fagan Bradley system, but they're going to be vastly different in degree. Because I believe this is about 25 to 26 degrees behind the the tropical system. If you're using the tropical system, you are basically using that blueprint of the sky that snapshot was taken 2,000 years ago. So the farther we get away from 2,000 years ago, year after year after year, Every 72 years, it's another degree off, another degree off, another degree off. So say 1,000 years from now, it's not going to make any sense to people trying to use tropical. And we're already, what, 2,000 years removed from that? So I don't know. If it's me and I want to put all this time and effort into learning my code, to crack my code, to know what the blueprint says I'm here to do, at least as far as the matrix says. And of course, your spirit is in there as well as the Rahu Ketu axis. That's your spirit. That's what your spirit says. And it's funny because in the Vedas, they called Rahu Ketu, before it was cut in half, they called that a demon. And it's very funny because the Asuras and the Devas are supposed to be the gods. But really, you can consider the gods of this matrix the demons or the devils or the bad guys. And the Asuras, like, Venus is one of the Asuras. They couldn't contain her completely. I mean, yes, she shows up in their grid and she's part of it, but she's gone rogue. Like, they can't control her. She's rogue. Let's skip those ads. She is rogue. So partly also where your Venus lies is kind of that uncontrolled part of you. So yes, we do have just a smidgen of free will, but it's not anywhere near what we think. When we sit down in the morning and think, well, what am I having for breakfast, this or this? Or maybe you have 20 options. Well, really, all of those options, whatever one you do choose, ultimately is most likely what is scripted for you, even if you feel like you're the one choosing it. And the same fact goes to that thought in your head, that, all these thoughts in your head that we, as we awaken, we realize, this thing is just running on autopilot. It is connected to something that I have no idea. I have no control over it. What is that? That is part of this hive mind system, collective consciousness, if we will. But that is not the end all be all of who we are. We are the one observing those thoughts. We are the one, yes, at times we can have our own thoughts. That happens too. Yes, we do have, we are allowed to use the tool of our brain, just like this system, if we want to call it that. For the most part, even if you're, sick in bed, you're not thinking about anything, you're still thinking about something. Something is being done here, and it has nothing to do with what we're trying to make happen. Which is kind of weird and kind of scary in a way. If you really go down the rabbit hole and think about it, it's kind of weird. But the tarot runs much the same. Say, for instance, you have a question about, should I apply for this job or should I apply for this other job? And ultimately, the tarot is going to tell you what your birth chart's going to tell you, what your numerology is going to tell you. It's all connected. It's all interwoven. There's no outstanding or outlier in the bunch. They all, like a tapestry, weave together. I would say the one and only outlier there may exist would be if we use our brain, our, tune into our astrology to see, what triggers are placed for us to fail or to be blocked or, to get triggered in some way. And then to use that smidgen of free will that we have with our true spirit being on board to either ignore that and not get triggered by it, or better even yet, to follow the part in your chart that is the spirit communicating directly to you about how you can do the best for yourself here. Whether that's in alignment with the rest of your chart, meaning the control matrix, or not. Sometimes they do line up, because the matrix, I would say, is not inherently evil. It's just completely locked down, full of control. We can interpret the prison as Logan on Decode Your Reality, he calls this the prison. You can make your time in prison really worthwhile. You can learn a lot. You can grow. You can get buff, or you can just waste it away and woe is me. We have a choice, or do we? Maybe, probably. Where your true spirit lies in your chart, we have a choice as to how we're going to make our time worthwhile. I would argue, though, that this plane of existence that we find ourselves in is more entertaining than what I would see on TV as far as a prison goes. Because I don't have like firsthand access or experience with prisons. So I can only go by what I've heard or what I've seen on TV. And, day-to-day life is a lot better than what I would assume that is, So we can make the most of this and we can enjoy all that this has to offer. while we're here. But since I've uncovered a lot of this just in my own intuition and knowing, I want to start using the tarot in a different way. On how you guys see it come out, it's going to look exactly the same. Nothing really is changing on that end, but the internal way I'm setting the intention when I ask the question you ask me to ask for you for the tarot, for your question, I'm setting the intention to connect to your true spirit, which I already was doing to a point, but instead of just connecting to your true spirit, I am connecting to your true spirit, setting the intention that the answer you get is in alignment with your true spirit, which I already was doing, but to take it a step further, that this may fly in the face of what your code says. And here's the thing, the more we fly in the face of this code, or all these constructs that are put upon us, even our birth name, you put your birth name into Chaldean numerology, and you get an outcome, and it will line up with everything else that you have going on. It's just, there's no choice but for it to not. But I want to try an experiment to see if the more we listen to our true spirit and tune into that and follow that path, and set our intentions when we're taking any kind of action, that it's in alignment with our true spirit, if we start to see that we're veering off the path of our blueprints, I would argue to say that at the very least we might see it not as 100% lining up. So the people who are awake right now, even if you're just coming out of this spiritual sleep and you're what you consider spiritually awake, you have a little more leg up than just the sleepers, as we want to call them, just people out there living and dying by this script, thinking that they had a choice, thinking that the other person that did them wrong had a choice, thinking that if you can even come to this realization that we're all, especially the people who are unawakened, just living that life script out, if we can come to that realization, and really we can stop taking everything so personally, because there's nothing personal about it. It just is, but again, with the tarot, I'm setting that intention that we are connecting to, when we're doing a collective reading, our collective true spirit information that needs to come through. When it is your personal question you're getting a card for or a reading for, again, setting the intention that it is for your personal spirit, true spirit, coming through to help you in any way possible in this crazy, crazy clown world. And I know a lot of what I've been saying lately has probably turned some people off to this channel, but you know what? That's okay. Because I can't continue to, I don't think live a lie is the right way to put it, because it's not me living a lie, but once you know better, we want to usually do better. I mean, at least that's where I stand with something. Once I know the truth of something, I can't continue to spout the lie, even if I'm making money off of it. I can't do that. I can't do that. I know there are people out there that probably could and would and will and do every single day, but I'm not that guy. So I will tell you the truth as well as I know it in any given moment. And if that eventually makes all of this irrelevant, or for me to even show up here irrelevant, I guess that's just going to be what it is. Because I got to live in alignment with my true spirit at every turn. I've always been that way, and I hope to always be that way. All right, speaking of all of that, now that we've gotten exactly now how I'm going to be doing the tarot from here on out, at least until things change again, and then again, you'll be the first to know when that changes again. We're setting that intention to connect to the true spirit, which we've been doing for a while here, at least since the end of 2022, when I had the rude awakening from the awakening, and then a few times between now and then that I've had further levels of rude awakening from the awakening, as have most of us here. We're just going to try to do better as we know more. But let's just see what we need to know. Ooh, we got a couple cards. Ooh, I love it. I love it. So we have the King of Pentacles and the Queen of Wands, but I saw the Queen of Wands first, and that is Miss Sovereignty herself. As sovereign as we can get here. But of course, we're setting that intention that we will take our power back in every way, shape, and form that we can, even in the ways that we don't know yet. And that's why when we put our spirit in charge, because our spirit knows the whole thing, and our spirit has been on board with the truth from day one of this incarnation and well before that. So if we can just put our true spirit in the driver's seat, we're going to have a much easier time here. Because the King of Pentacles, yes, he works hard. He does a lot. He's busy, but he's doing really well for himself. His effort is not rewarded, right? He's rewarded greatly for his efforts. Not just, oh, well, you showed up for 3 hours, we're going to pay for 3 hours. It's like the King of Pentacles shows up for 3 hours, they're going to pay him for 3 years. Like, that's the level up we're talking here. When you can tune into your true spirit for setting intentions, very specific intentions with everything you do, down to what you're going to have for dinner. I mean, we can really take this to an extreme, and I would say that's probably in our best interest to take this to an extreme, because we are in an extreme environment already, just so locked down, free will, in the realm of free will. Some people out there, I'm not quite there myself, because I do know there's that true spirit within, but people like Logan on Decode Your Reality, he goes so far as to say that no matter how awake you are, no matter what, you're still locked and loaded into this system. And maybe that silver lining part of me is not quite there yet. I'm more of a optimist at heart, but I can also, admit when things aren't as optimistic as I once thought they were. So that's where I'm at right now. So shiny. I can't take it in the best way. Right. I love these cards. These are so fun. And they're just I think they're called the gold foil. I got them on Amazon a while back, but yeah, they're really fun. The same colors as the traditional Rider-Waite depictions, but just very goldy, very golden. But yeah, this really is about doing the best we can for ourselves in every moment, setting those intentions, again, even with the really little things in life, that they're going to be in alignment with our true spirit. And that way, if our true spirit does have that little smidgen of power that we feel that it does, the more we feed and focus on that smidgen of power, the more it's going to grow. And the less, hopefully, that our birth chart and all of these things are going to just say, well, this is how it is. You can pretend that you have a choice, but you don't. Well, I would hope that our true spirit has more say, and especially when we're paying attention and setting intentions. Yes, speaking the truth, yes. And this is also just that divine idea, divine inspiration, divine guidance. And I don't think it's any mistake or accident. It probably wouldn't be. If it's all scripted, that you found yourself here in recent, live streams to learn more about this. And I'm sure most of you already knew these things to some degree or some level. But sometimes just hearing someone else say it is like that validation, that a lot of us, we think we know something and we feel it intuitively, but then we hear someone else agreeing with it. And it, again, not what we're in an echo chamber of, we're just hearing what we want to hear. But, even those hard truths sometimes, when we hear someone else say it out loud, it almost is like, okay, it doesn't have to be so hard. It doesn't have to be so bad. Are you serious? Another ad. Skip. We don't need this. And I set ads, no ads, but there they are. All right, what else do we need to know, those of us watching now and on the replay? Ooh, middle world, be present. And that's, going to these myths about, the tree of life, and the underworld is the roots, and the trunk is the now moment, and the, the big canopy of the tree is the as above, so below kind of part of us. And so much as above, so below. As above meaning the alignment of the stars, so below. That's what's going on here. But I love that bright, shiny sun. And the sun itself is a portal. A lot of good energy is coming from the sun to help support and liberate, because yes, maybe we are very locked and loaded right now, but it's not always this way, because we just ended the Kali Yuga. If you are someone who has looked into Vedic astrology at all, there's different yugas or eras. The Kali Yuga being the farthest away you can get from any source of spirit or light, and even know you have light or spirit at all. And I can never remember the name of the second yuga after Kali Yuga, which is coming out of that hard time. But as I say with any energies, there's no hard stop when you turn that calendar page or that yuga page. These energies kind of overlap each other. And we're gonna see some darkness playing out for a while, but the thing with the yugas is, we go through these 4 different yugas, and of course we're almost as far, not quite as far away as you can get from the golden age, but we're pretty far out right now. And yes, we've maybe had some renaissances and golden ages according to our history more recently than, hundreds of thousands of years ago or what have you. But there was still war, there was still famine. And when you're at that true golden age, that yuga, again, I forget the name of the best yuga, the energy on the planet just does not support that low vibration and that control grid matrix. It does not. It does not. So part of why I think so many of us decided to come to this crazy place is because we knew at this time specifically, things were shifting. There's a changing of the guard, energetically speaking. And the more that we tune into that true spirit, the less of that iron grip hold that this matrix will have on any one of us, let alone all of us. And especially when you start to know things and feel things deep in your bones, deep in your spirit, you're going to start waking up to things that most people are just sleeping on and will continue to sleep on their whole incarnation. When you have the eyes to see and the ears to hear, things are getting better. They really are. Miss Spiderweb, reconsider your alliance and make new connections. Yeah, and we were just talking about the net, the grid, the control, the spiderweb. And I like the, reconsider your alliances, because the things that we thought were in our favor maybe aren't. But now that we know better, we can make a better choice, hopefully, for ourselves to come out of that and make that true better choice. Let's see if there's anything we need to know about bringing our true spirit more online to help us overcome this matrix system. The delicate fairy and her ferrets. Change is natural, good, and yes, it can hurt. Yes, it can. And yes, we were talking about the changing of the guard, the changing the yugas, the different, there's like 3 different major cycles that are lining up around this time. And we're still about, I don't know the estimated exact years, but it's somewhere between 400 and 500 years from the true age of Aquarius. But again, because we're in that last degree of Pisces, or close to, per these precessions, we're already feeling that Aquarian energy. And those people who are, especially really aligned with their true spirit are, of course, going to feel it before the general collective. But yeah, this is about learning what you can, keeping your friends close, your enemies closer as well. As far as the enemy being, I don't think there's in the true form of the word, maybe we can consider the matrix itself an enemy because it is locking us down. But in some regard, at least in that first incarnation that we got here, if it was after the matrix was put in place, I think for some of us, there were incarnations before that. And then we learned about this and then we decided to come back probably. But it's like keeping your friends close and your enemies closer. And the way we're keeping our enemies closer is by learning our code, is learning as much as we can about what our triggers are. And instead of just focusing on healing constantly, we're peeling. Because even, yes, maybe we did have a rough childhood. Maybe that really bad thing did happen that time and then this time and then many other times. But we don't just stay stuck in that past energy. We can tune into our true spirit and ask what we can do to just let it go. Let it go. Know our chart, know our script, so to speak. And once we know the script, we can then maybe start making some I can talk, I swear. Improvisations, there's the word I'm looking for. So, a lot of movie scripts, each character will have a script, and most of the time the director wants you to stick to that script like it's your life. And most people do, but there are those actors out there that will improvise, and their improvisation was so well done that sometimes that will replace the original script. And that's what I'm seeing in my mind's eye right now. Run ads again. Go away with that. I swear, you guys, this is so annoying. I said before the live stream started, I don't want ads run at all. Yet every 5 minutes, they're trying to pop them up for us. I'm going to skip them as I see them. All right, here we go. Last card. I learned that God is more accessible in the Kali Yuga, and that's why it's the hardest. It's also the most favorable for advancement than any other yuga. Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. And by estimations that I've seen, the Kali Yuga ended in the early 2000s. So we're in the whatever yugas right after that. I always forget the name of it. But that's where we're at. And of course, I don't know exactly how long these yugas last. There are people that say they last for millennia. There are other people that say they last a couple 100,000 years, and other people say they last a handful of thousands of years. I haven't looked enough into them. I know the basics about it, but I don't know enough about it to know how to draw the best conclusion for myself at this point. But yeah, that's allegedly where we're at. But then there's other people that say, well, we're still in Kali Yuga, so you might as well just live it up and, you know, be the prisoners in the prison house and do whatever. I don't know. Even if that was the case, I'd still want to do the best I could for myself and humanity, if it were me. Oh, you got the impression that we've barely begun the Kali Yuga. Yeah, I'm under the impression that we've recently left. And by recently, I mean in the last 20 years. All right. Tree of Life, conception, yes. We were kind of talking about that tree of life earlier, the roots and the trunk and the present being middle world in the tree of life system. The middle world is this matrix reality. The underworld is, as far as I know, the middle world is unattainable or unreachable by those that control or have constructed the matrix. The underworld is still under full control of pure divinity. And those that can get themselves there after we pass away, don't go to the light, go to the underworld. And why do you think they have programmed us with the thought of hell or the underworld or purgatory, all these places being below our feet or underneath us? Why do you think that is? Because they don't want us getting out. So what better way than to scare us with the devil or, your own past misdeeds? Well, here's my argument. If everything that we're supposed to do and experience and become is already scripted, then we're not at fault for that, right? We're not at fault for that because we had no choice but to follow out that script. Until we know better, we can't do better. So how could we be punished for things we may have not known about or done? That's my argument against it. But yes, Tree of Life. Isn't it a beautiful card? I know, I love it. I love this whole deck. It's the shamanic medicine cards, I think. I never know if I'm saying it right. No. Yes, shamanic medicine oracle. So that's mostly, let's get one more. Just anything we need to know for this weekend and just any upcoming big shifts or energies coming in. We got two more. Ooh, three more. Wow. Feathers with restoration. Cave with retreat. Reminds me of Plato's Cave. That's a really good read. If you want to know about the nature of reality and us being in the matrix, Plato's Cave. And it's funny, before I even knew about Plato's Cave, I have this event that happens in my first book in my series that the girl finds herself in a metaphorical, if not literal cave. We'll put it that way. Yeah, it's crazy. And then we have the purge with the West. Yeah, and I really see this purge energy as, when you're sick, like I've been, your body just purges all of this, the dead cells. Your body starts purging them and clearing out toxins and even like the cells that are like replicated, like cancerous cells. Cells that are just not going in a good way. Your body, when you have the flu or a cold or something like that, that's when your body can go into super drive and take care of these cells that are going rogue or have died or are just not serving you anymore and clear house, clean house. That's why there's so many fluids going when you've got a cold or a cough. But yeah, this to me does feel like a big purge time. And it's a really great time to do any decluttering, purging, to make way for that new spring energy that by way of the seasons, for those of us in the more northern or even places that experience like the change of seasons, we can see this energy play out more so than those in kind of those more moderate climates where it's just hot all the time or hot and then just slightly less hot. But if you actually are living somewhere where you experience the change of seasons, you just naturally feel these cycles and these shifts. Yeah. All right, so that's going to do it for our collective message today. Of course, it's in alignment with our true spirit, not just what the matrix says we need to experience. And I like what we got, so very cool. And Linda, I think she had said earlier, she sent a donation, so we're going to get right into that for Linda. And of course, anyone else that sends a donation, you will be right toward the beginning part of that list. And of course, we have an ad trying to sneak in again, so let me skip that. Before it takes Linda away from her reading. We don't want that. Okay. So, I'm going to shuffle these up a few times. I'm going to read Linda's question and get right into it for her. Okay. Those out of the way. Heading over to email with Linda. 2 questions, yes and no. Okay, go ahead and post your first question, which you have. My sister contacted by her son. She had no contact with her for 15 plus years. She said she would let me know how the phone call went, but now a week and no contact from her. Should I contact her or wait? Okay, let's find out. Is it in alignment with Linda's true spirit to reach out to her sister, contact her? We have temperance, so there's a balance. Or should she wait for her sister to contact her? I would say go ahead and reach out, because it's like you might be disappointed because you're going to be waiting and waiting and waiting. I don't know that she's going to reach out because I don't know that the phone call went the way she wanted it to, or it wasn't as love and light as she wanted it to be. So yeah, if you feel compelled or called to reach out to her, it wouldn't hurt just to see what was said if she wants to divulge that information. As far as what we can gather about what happened with the phone call, or just, that contact coming into contact with Linda's sister's son. Yeah, so there's something she's confused about, or she didn't get what she wanted from the phone call or the interaction. Maybe he told her off and told her what a horrible mother she was, or something that she just didn't want to hear. It was definitely something she didn't want to hear. She may even play it off like, oh, no big deal. NBD, no big deal. But it was a big deal, because to hear from someone you haven't heard from, especially your own blood and flesh, your own child, after 15 years, that is a big deal. No matter what's said, that's a big deal. That's what I thought. The call might not have been good, but I will call her. Yeah, just, I don't think you have to act like you care. I mean, just, reach out, because you do care in some way, right? And she should understand that. Hopefully, as your sister. Definitely does not say much about the situation. Yeah. So I don't know that you're going to get the truth of maybe what was said in the phone call, and she might just play it off like, yeah, whatever. But it did stress her out a lot. So it might have created new stress that she didn't know she needed to be worried about. Anything else Linda can gain? Yeah. Maybe he just wrote her off for good. Knowledge-wise, this is someone walking away from something that's just not going to work. And then on the back of the deck, someone feeling like they're in defense mode. So he probably didn't say what she wanted to hear, and probably, in fact, said something that she doesn't want to repeat. So you may not hear the truth of what was said, or she might play it off like, oh, yeah, we said a few things, and that was that, and we'll probably talk again later. Like, she'll just kind of play it off like, ain't no big deal. NBD, no big deal. As far as how maybe you can, Linda, support her or be there, or anything you need to know about the situation, just what needs to come up. Yeah, Miss Spiderweb, this came out in our collective as well. Reconsider your alliances, make new connections. So I don't know that you're going to get any new information here. Yeah, and in fact, if you try to push too hard, she might lash out at you. But of course, I would say reach out and just say, hey, how'd the phone call go? And if she's just not really willing to put forth that info, I would just kind of leave with the knowledge that it probably didn't go well. And she's either embarrassed or hurt or shamed by that and doesn't want to get into it. And yeah. But I would still reach out, because that does tell her that you care, So if that was already intuitively what you were going to do, I would do that. And then just, if you want to support her through this, or just let her know if she does say, yeah, it didn't go well, does want to admit that, and maybe just doesn't want to get into exactly what was said, you can still be there to support her through that. All right. All right. Next question for Linda. Yeah, that's what I thought. The call might not have been good, but I will call her to check in. Typically does not say much about the situation. Cards are what I thought the situation might be. What happened? Yep. Because I think just intuitively, you already felt, well, if things went well, she'd have called me right away. Like, I think all of us would assume that if something went well, the person involved or people involved would have been like, yeah, woohoo. But the fact that didn't happen, yeah. So you have a cousin. I constantly ask her to go out and do things, and she says yes, but she never reciprocates and asks me to do things. I asked her to take her out for her birthday, and she has not responded. Should I continue my efforts? Okay. So intuitively, I'm already getting the fact that there are just some people in our lives that are going to be this way. And it's not that they don't like you. It's not that they don't want to hang out with you. It just, at some points, does not occur to them that it's an option for them to reach out or, reciprocate that love and care that you're putting into the connection. There are people just kind of wired that way. And I really do see this cousin as being that way, not only with you, but most likely with other people. That being said, though, there can still be people in this cousin's life where she is fulfilling that role of, what do we want to call it? Like activities director or the facilitator. But it just doesn't occur to her for some reason in your connection with you or her connection with maybe some other people. Let's skip that ad. But let's see what Linda needs to know about this cousin and just the way that she is in this connection. Yeah, that's good confirmation that she just isn't, not that she's not receptive. I think she is receptive. It's just, again, it doesn't occur to her to ever reach out because it just might be the habit that, oh, well, Linda wants to do something, Linda will come to me and ask. I don't ever have to go to Linda because Linda will just come to me. Like, and again, I don't think she's like rationalizing this. It's just in a subconscious pattern for her. And if you're wondering if you're making too much effort, let's find out. Is Linda maybe making too much effort with this cousin and could pull back? I think you could go either way. A lot of times the fours can be very, like, what's the word? Dualistic. There's the word. So when we get the 4 Pentacles, 4 Cups, sometimes I like to pull another card. Yeah, the Sun. So if you feel like you're the literal life force behind this and you do want to pull back, not so much to play a game to be like, well, let me see if she's going to reciprocate now. But as far as you just feeling played or taken advantage of, I would say if that's the way you're feeling about this situation, it wouldn't hurt to pull back. But if you just want to, give her enough rope to hang her with, I probably wouldn't go down that road to try to play games about it, which I don't see that you would want to do that anyway. But if you're just feeling a little hurt or put off by the fact that she isn't making that effort, then do pull back. And of course, that might be enough that she does want to reach out, because that's the thing is when we pull our energy back from someone or something, think of it this way. This is what's coming to we're on the last question on my list, Crazy Tempest, so you'd be top of the list. But this is what's coming to my awareness. So say you cancel a subscription box or something you're subscribed to or you pay monthly for. You go and cancel that. And usually they'll let you cancel it. No harm, no foul. But then later that day or a day later or a few days later, they'll send you an email. Hey, we miss you. Here's whatever % off if you want to rejoin us. Like they feel you pulling your energy back and they want you back. Same thing happens in different relationships, different connections. And this could be as simple, Linda, as maybe doing like a cord removal with this cousin. And I would say even remove healthy cords in your life from time to time just to keep them healthy. There's nothing wrong, because the second you think of that person again, or you hang out with that person again, a new cord is automatically created. So you're not hurting anyone or killing the connection by removing cords. It's actually very beneficial and very healthy from time to time. And especially if things feel unbalanced, that's letting you know already, time for a cord removal. So maybe try doing that. And again, when you remove that energy, they're going to feel it on their end. And that might be the catalyst for her to reach out and be like, hey, about that birthday dinner. Yeah, let's do it. That might be all it takes is you to pull or cleanse that energy between the two of you by removing that cord, establishing a new way forward. As far as Linda's best path forward with this cousin, what does she need to know? Anything else? Yeah, do what makes you happy. This is about you feeling good about the situation all around. So yeah, I would do what's going to be in your best interest, which would be to remove the cord, pull back if you're feeling like pulling back, because I would almost venture to guess to say that the second you remove that cord, pull that energy back, or just kind of wash your hands of the situation, she will then at that moment, or very soon after that now moment, say, oh, hey, I've been busy. I saw your message about the birthday, and yes, let's do it. It could be as simple as that. And I really am seeing with the sun coming out here, there's really nothing to worry about. I don't see that she's trying to play games with you or be mean or make you do all the work. If anything, this is maybe subconscious that, well, Linda does the work, so I'll let her continue to do all the work with the, activities coordination. But it's not something she's sitting there thinking about and doing her evil villain laugh in her, chair. I'm getting one over on Linda. It's not at all like that. So yeah, just trust your intuition, clear that energy, and most likely you're going to see the good rewards of that clearing, and she'll probably most likely reach out to you and what have you. And I would also say, if you're feeling a little like, oh, I'm always the one, maybe just, in a nice way, but in a truthful way, tell her that it kind of hurts your feelings, or, however it is that it makes you feel, that you're always having to be the one to reach out or make the call or, plan the activity. And she might, again, most likely doesn't even realize this is happening. This is just how life is. And I haven't thought that much about it. Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. I can totally call you more often or reach out more often. It might just be as simple as just sending a little bit of communication her way about how you having to be the one in constant charge of it makes you feel. And most likely she's going to be the one to make that right for you, because I don't think she wants to lose you as a friend or cousin, because I see a really great connection here, and she feels it's a great connection. Life sometimes just gets busy, but that's no excuse if we're always going to be the one to have to, plan the thing and do the thing. And especially after we tell the person, hey, I'm always the one having to do this. And then they say, oh no, I'll do better. But then if they don't do better, that's when we have a bone to pick with someone, because they've said they're going to try to do better. Or maybe they might say something like, well, I don't care. It doesn't bother me. I like how things are. And then I guess the problem's all ours, right? And then the ball's in our court. Do I want to hang out with this person anymore? But again, I don't see this as extreme for this cousin as those examples. All right. You're so welcome, Linda. And I think, again, you already know and knew what to do in the situation, both of these situations. But it's just sometimes that little extra validation does help us feel okay with what we're doing, So good job, Linda. You're already very intuitive. You know what's up, so good job. All right, next we got Crazy Tempest. So, since telling Brooke it would be best to be distant acquaintances, I noticed she's been showing up in my buddy stream when originally had no interest and effort in doing so. Can you tell me the true intentions of hers at this time, when she knows I want nothing to do with her, only for her to pay off the debt that is owed? Okay. Yes, let's tune in. Let's see what Brooke's intentions are. What is Brooke's true intention? King of Wands. It's like she wants to take command or charge of the situation. She felt like she lost something, which I would hope she felt like she lost something, because she did lose you as a friend. So that's established. We know that. Yeah. It's like she wants, especially with the loss of you as a friend, it's like she's trying harder or putting herself out there more. This is like long-term energy here, both of these. This is someone who doesn't want to be left out. This is like FOMO, fear of missing out. So it's like she's putting herself out there in more extreme ways than she had when you were friends with her. Again, much like we were talking about with Linda and this cousin, Linda was always the one having to plan these activities or reach out to say, hey, let's hang out at all. And it seems like a very similar dynamic, although it's different, to where this Brooke friend of yours, or ex-friend at this point, Crazy Tempest, almost just felt peace in knowing that you would be the one to plan something, or would have one up on you when you'd come over, and she'd just be like, well, I don't want to do anything. So let's just hang out here. So I think from the start or from the jump, Brooke wanted to have the control in the relationship, or at the very least, like the control of the outcome of, do we stay at my place or do we go do something else? She always kind of had the last say. And I think, Crazy Tempest, that's just because you were more open-minded as far as like, oh, we could go here, we could go over here, we could do this other thing. I'm cool with any of this. What do you want to do? And then she'd always kind of be like the last vote. But as far as her intentions go, yeah, she doesn't want to go anywhere. But as far as her intentions, specifically toward Crazy Tempest, Queen of Cups, I think she misses you. Whether she wants to admit this or not, she misses you and the connection. There's a lot of emotional tie-up here. So she's not getting something emotionally that she would get when you were still friends with her. Yeah, I gave her 6 months, and she had no interest. Yeah, and and sometimes it has to be that extreme. We give someone that ultimatum or something, and then we say after 6 months, it's going to be different if you don't do something. And then they like, wait, they don't do it. And then 6 months is over. And now they're like, oh man, but now I want it. It's almost like they want what they can't have. And this is very, she's got kind of a contrary type of personality to where if someone tells her she can't have something or can't do something, that's the only reason she might want something. Or she only wants it because someone else wants it, not because she genuinely wants it. But like, and I think this friend stuff, this buddy, in the buddy streams, again, it's not because she genuinely wants to be friends with these specific people or in this specific way. It's just she doesn't want to miss out. She doesn't want to be told no. Yeah, she wants to have her cake and eat it too without having to lift a finger and do the work. But that's the thing with the King of Pentacles. He's not afraid to do the work, and because he knows he's going to be rewarded, but she just wants to be rewarded without the work. A lot of kings here, a lot of queen energy, and then that 10 of Pentacles is like multi-generation. So this is like power and structure. So it's like she wants to be the one in command. She wants to be the one in charge. And then when she's not, it's almost like she's in fight or flight mode. The other, she lied about her wanting to be single, then is working things out with her ex. Yeah. It's almost like she at times tells people what she thinks they want to hear, even if it's not the truth. And again, I don't see her sitting there with her evil villain, laugh, rationalizing these things. These are all subconscious ways that she's being used by this matrix to, put a bit of a damper in other people's plans or ideas. As far as her to pay off the debt that is owed, let's get a card on that. With paying off this debt that is owed. Ooh. We have the Hierophant and the Six of Cups. So something from the past, a contract that was made in the past will be fulfilled. So if she doesn't physically pay up for this debt that is owed, somehow, some way, that balance is going to come into play. If this money is owed to you from her, you may not see it from her, but you may see it from a different source. But that money or whatever it is, somehow, some way, is going to come back to you to be balanced. Whether it comes from her or some other source, though. It might even be, and again, if this is not something you want to do, you do not have to do it. But it just may be that you are friends with her again at some future point. This is the past, this is the past coming back again, and then this is creating a contract. But if you do not want to be friends with her anymore ever again, rip up that contract. You don't have to do that. But if this is a contract, even verbal agreement that she made to pay certain things, that contract will have to be honored, whether it's from her to you or from her having to pay some exorbitant bill that came in the mail because she didn't pay you back. Somehow, some way, that matrix is coming around to, the piper will be paid. And even though she's paying this enormous bill over this way and not toward you, somehow, some way, that money's still going to find its way back to you because that contract, verbal or otherwise, was made to you and it will be fulfilled. That's exactly what this combination will say. Hey, Kalite, welcome. Anything else? Let's see. Anything else Crazy Tempest needs to know about Brooke's intentions, especially her showing up in these buddy streams? Okay. So we have, oh man, uh, Quetzalcoatl and the priestess of of time. The time has come. The time to act is now. So it's like, again, like that FOMO, fear of missing out. Like she feels like I had to put myself out there. I got to be where the people are. Isn't that Ariel, the Little Mermaid? I want to be where the people are. You know that. And then we have two kittens. You must choose. I'm really reading this more as your energy of, okay, so someone you don't really want to be hanging around, Brooke, is now involved in these buddy streams and showing up where originally she had no interest in doing so, but because she fears that she's missing out on something, whoop, there she is. It's almost like it's time for you to have a conversation with these other people or with Brooke herself to say, I don't know why you're here. You had no interest in it before. What's changed? And she may not even know, again, because I think she just wants what she can't have or what she's told she can't have. And it's just, yeah, just in spite of it all. Like that's what I see here. So I guess you have two choices. You can either just double down and stay out there in those buddy streams doing what you do, or you can pull your energy back, do another cord removal with her, and maybe she says, well, oh, she's not hanging out there anymore. Okay, I don't need to hang out there. Because what I see is her hanging out there because you're there. Yeah, they have a mask with her. They know what's going on. Yeah. And maybe they just need to tell her, bye, Felicia, go on, we don't want you here either. That might just be what it comes to. And yes, she is that person that wants what she can't have. But if enough people in a group tell her, we don't want you, you're not wanted here, she'll get the memo and she'll go somewhere else. Yeah, let's get one of these shamanic medicine cards. Anything else crazy Tempest needs to know? Shapeshifter with perspective and Dreamweaver with accessibility. So either you or some others in the group or you as a whole group need to tell her, hey, things are different now. You don't have access to us anymore. Or she just might be hanging around. But how fun is that when everybody's having to wear a mask because this person we don't want hanging around is hanging around? It might break up the group because we have the foundations on the back with the staff. It might just put a wedge between certain friends in this group or between you and certain other people in this group. And maybe just having that conversation out of the gate that, you're not really welcome here. Please don't come around. Might be the easiest way to go here. They are the type that sit back and make their opinion on their own. Okay, gotcha. So of course, if they don't mind her there, it might be difficult to get them on board. But if they don't want her there and you don't want her there and this other person doesn't want her there, that would be much easier for the 2, 3, 4, however many of you to get together and say, I don't know, this just isn't working for us, Brooke. You got to go. That might just save everybody the time and the hassle and the whatever. She will get a clue because I ignore her and I can leave. Yeah, there you go. And maybe that's just what you're doing for a while. And then other people that don't really want to be around her are doing the same thing. But yeah, you do have two choices. You do have two choices, but the time is now to choose what your next move is, regardless of what she's going to do. Just any closing arguments, words of advice, or wisdom for Crazy Tempest with this Brooke situation showing up in the buddy stream. The world, yeah, close it down or shut it down. Remove her access to you by either not going to a couple of these streams for a while and maybe communicating that to the people that you do want to see on these streams. Just saying, hey, I won't be here because I'm pretty sure Brooke's going to be there. But hey, if she's not there, maybe text me, let me know, and I'll be right over. That is your choice. And in a way, it does sound kind of childish, but in a way, it's not. In a big way, it's not, because you are putting up boundaries where, she didn't have any interest before, but now, she cut off her access to me and I know she's going to be there. Well, then I'm going to be there. It's a one-upsmanship game that she's not going to win because ultimately she's going to get bored. She's going to get bored. She's going to go somewhere else. She'll finally give up eventually. But if you would rather see her give up sooner than later, maybe doing the extreme thing and just maybe not going to a few of the buddy streams. Again, communicating that to the friends that you care to see on these streams in advance to let them know, that if she's there, I'm not. And then she shows up, you're not. But if, say she doesn't show up and you don't show up, one of them can let you know and then you can show up. And then eventually, again, Brooke will tire herself out. I see her like a little puppy running around chasing its tail. Eventually she's going to get bored. Eventually she's going to get tired, go lay down and go do something different, Yeah. Final closing arguments. Yeah, we did have the world card there. So especially if these buddy streams involve people from all over. Yeah, there's you. This is internet. This is the internet card. And this is also kind of moving away or going in a new direction for a while. Again, to separate that energy out, to go figure out what's best for you at this time. And I think what is best for you is to just distance yourself from her specifically. And then maybe even scheduling certain streams, if these are like on Zoom, or I'm not sure exactly how this is that you're doing these, but maybe you schedule streams that she doesn't know about, and that can be a way you guys get away from her as well. Or just a select few of you are hanging out, and then she can't invite herself because she doesn't know what's even happening. Yeah, they are all over, yeah. I'm the type that would just cut it all off, right? Yeah, right. This one fell. Yep. So yeah, follow your intuition or the idea that you have about what's best for you. But I think a lot of good advice came through as far as, have a bit of patience as well. Because eventually she's going to get bored. She's going to get bored because especially if you're not there. Like, here's the deal. Because even if you're not talking to her, if she can see that you're there, that's all she needs. That's all the fix she needs. Well, she's here. I see that I'm here and she's here and she's probably going to leave because I'm here. Well, I'm winning. And again, she's not rationalizing this. This is all subconscious. So my best advice would be to just pull the plug on your energy anywhere near where she's at. Her fun will end. She will get bored. She will go away sooner than later. But if you're still going to be where she's at, though not speaking to her, the game's still going for her. Even if you're totally washed your hands and done with it, she's still going. So the quicker you can make that decision to just pull your energy, whoop, I'm done, completely done. I'm not going to be where you are. She's going to get bored quicker and move on quicker. Yeah, totally. And yeah, I think these cards are just starting to repeat themselves at this point. So yeah. So I don't know if there was anything else because you did donate for more than just that. Was there anything else you want to know about this situation specifically or any other situation? We can pull a few cards for that as well. Because you always send such lovely donations. I want to give you your full amount here. I'm dropping cards left and right. Make sure I got them all. There we go. All right. Yeah, a lot of king energy, a lot of queen energy coming out early in these cards for her. And that really does tell me she's looking to do these power plays just to see how far she can take it, which is annoying. How long is she going to keep at it? Yeah, let's find out. Let's find out. How long is Brooke going to keep up these games and showing up and being in these buddy streams? Ooh, death. It'll cut off soon. And I would say that probably 1, 2, 3 of these streams you don't show up, she's done. Because, you might even have someone say, yeah, Crazy Tempest isn't coming around anymore. And that would get her out even quicker. Because if she even, she might even ask, oh, well, where's Crazy Tempest? And all of them might be like, oh, well, she couldn't make it this time. Well, then she's going to hang on for next time. Yeah, but this is pretty quick. So I would even just put a bug in someone's ear that I'm not coming around anymore, even if it's not true. I mean, obviously it's true to the point where if Brooke's around, you're not. So it's technically true. And then 7 of Cups. But, there's a few ways we could take this. But her fun will end if you're not there. And she will get anxious hanging around all these other people. And eventually she's just going to cut it off. But that death card coming out swift like that, that's pretty darn quick. So I would just maybe put a bug in someone's ear to tell her that, well, I don't know if you want to get as to the point of, well, Crazy Tempest told us that if you're going to be around, she's not coming around anymore. She's done with these streams. If you want to get that direct with her by way of someone else telling her that, feel free. That might be the quickest way to cut this off. If that's not the case, if she just realizes you're not there, she might, after the second or third stream, ask around like, oh, has anyone seen Crazy Tempest? And they may say yes, they may say no. Happens when she chooses the path she did. Yeah. Yep. Yeah. So I would say you're already doing your part, but just pulling yourself away from these streams just long enough to get her to leave is probably in your best interest here. Cool, cool. I'm wishing you good luck with that, because she doesn't sound like a very fun friend to break up with either. She likes to play a lot of games. And again, I don't think she's showing up like rolling her sleeves up like, here we go, let's do this. Like, it's all subconscious. Like, she doesn't even know she's playing these games or trying to win. And it's almost harder with someone like that, because at least if someone knows they're playing games and knows they want to win, that's one thing. But she doesn't even realize that's what she's doing. She just is doing it. And that's maybe even harder in this situation. Sandy! Hi, Sandy. How are you? But yeah, pretty much Brooke wasn't the best friend to you, and it shows. Oh, you're doing okay. Yeah, I know what you mean. Rejection breeds obsession. Yeah, and then we have here the Golden Phoenix. Something you thought finished bursts back into life. So if you did want her to come back as a friend, she would come back as a friend. But do you want that on your hands? I don't know that you do. So I would just remove that energy, remove that cord, let the rest of the dust settle on this friendship. Let it die the death that you want it to or you're intending it to. And then she'll have no choice but to reciprocate that, because there's nothing for her to grab onto. Unless you give her something, and then she'll take any tiny little scrap of anything that you're willing to give and run a mile with it. And then that can prolong this whole thing longer. So I would just, can't see you, can't hear you, don't exist to me right now, and move on your merry way. That would be your best bet to get her to leave you alone and your group alone sooner than later. Yeah, no, that would be too much back. Right, yeah. Yeah, I wouldn't want to do that. If I were you, I totally would not want to go down that road either. All right, you guys, are we at the point in the game where we do our giveaway? I think we are. Giveaway time. All right. So if you're new to the giveaway portion of the live stream, there's no real rules, but here are the directions. So all you have to do, if you're watching right now, not on the replay, because this is live right now, and that's when we find the winner. You have to figure out what tarot card I just pulled out of the deck here. I'll let you see the back of it. Should be no surprise to those who've been around long enough that it's what it is. If you know, you know. Maybe I just gave a hint to somebody out there. But this has been the kind of general trend lately with the cards. So let's narrow it down. It is a swords card again. Peekali, hi Peekali. Oh, Banana Anna S. Boom, 2 of swords. That was quick. Look at that. So quick. You got it. So think of a question, and we're going to answer that for you. And everybody else who's here that wants to get entered into the drawing, put a 6666. 4 6s. I usually will look up and see how many people are here. There's 6 people. So, yeah. Put a 6, or 2 6s, or 3 6s, or 4 6s. I'll honor it. I'll honor however many 6s you want to put. I know the number 666 scares people, but if you actually break it down, it's just the number of man. 6 protons, 6 neutrons, 6 electrons, whatever it is. And it's the number of carbon. It's balanced. Yeah, there you go. All right. Crazy Tempest, let's get your name on here. I'm going to write all the names out, then show you, then put them in the pouch. That seemed to go quicker last time, and I like that. So less time we have to waste doing this, and you still get your name entered, and it just seemed to flow better. Pika Lee, Linda H, Banana Anna S. Brandy Lynn, it was a swords card again. Oh, itchy face. And Brandy Lynn. Yeah, one or the other. They all work. Brandy Lynn. I swear I can spell today. Okay. Anyone else who joins us? Oh, there's John. John. Okay. Anyone else who joins in on the 6666 fun between now and the end of the live stream, whenever that is, I will still honor your entry into the pouch. Okay. So first up, we got, well, not in the right order that I wrote them out in, but Banana Anna S. And we have John going in. And we have Brandy Lynn going in. We have Pika Lee. And we have Crazy Tempest. And Linda H. Last but not least. Okay. So let's get everything. Oh, I hate having this cold. Everything all mixed up here. Okay. The winner is Pika Lee. Pika Lee. And I think this was today's entry, actually, because I remember messing up on the K a little bit there. Look at that. I might be wrong, but maybe I just messed up on the K more than once. That's so funny. Pika Lee, welcome. Or congratulations. Congratulations. All right. Nice work. Okay, so let's see. So Banana Anna S says, thank you. I would like to know what the cards say about my inner self, the same as my authentic spirit. If your inner self is the same as your authentic spirit outside the matrix. Yes, let's tune in. That inner self. Is it the same as her authentic spirit? Ooh, the world. Yes, it's the same. So your inner voice is connected outside the matrix to your true spirit or your authentic spirit. Yes, it's not even hindered by the connection of this matrix. It's still, that connection's still there. And that's about cultivating, nurturing. This is the nurturing card, the cultivating card, the mothering, loving energy, pittering and pattering around the garden. Everything's growing and blooming and not quite ready to harvest, but there's still tender care we can give. And that's what your spirit is doing to your human part or your inner self part while you're here. You're still, yes, it might feel far away, or, this is always like a patience card as well. Feeling that patience to be able to feel that deeply within to yourself, to know that that part of you is there. Absolutely. Anything else? Banana Anna S needs to know. Okay, slippery energy. That's good. We want this to be slippery energy. So there might be things like the matrix or, different frequencies they're pumping, whatever it is, whatever their flavor of the month is that they do to try to stifle or distract us from our connection to our true spirit. But this card flopped all the way down to the floor. So this like slippery energy. So you're finding ways to overcome, even when you're feeling, the matrix has got you from all angles. This bad thing happened, this fight with this friend, this is going on, that's going on. You're still finding a way to show up in true authentic form, which is huge. I mean, that's huge. Connect to my inner self, but wanted to make sure it isn't. Yeah, no, it is directly connected to that part of you that is your true spirit. The part of you that you connect to, that is the most pure and untainted part of you, that goes outside this matrix, because this matrix was put on top of something that was natural, but it itself is not natural. But they could not completely snuff out or suppress that connection. They sure dialed it down, but it's still there. And it's up to each and every one of us to do our due diligence to maintain and stabilize that connection and strengthen that connection. That is like, what all these different religions are talking about, connecting to your God and this and that. Well, a lot of these gods that are written about in these books are about these matrix controllers or demons or archons or whatever we want to call them. The God that each and every one of us should be connecting to is that inner self. That is that connection that we have to the, authentic spirit that is outside this matrix that created everything. Anything else Banana Anna S needs to know? Yeah, shaman with completion. This might be your last rodeo here, because you did have that world card, which is another like end of a cycle, end of an era, end of completion. 2 completion cards, and then the shaman. So you've had many lives where you came in knowing what was going on and were able to do your maximum damage here in your best spiritual way and found your way out of the matrix. Probably, maybe, I don't know, during Kali Yuga, however long that was going on, it sounded like it would be really hard to get out during that time, but I don't know. I would venture to say you've found your way out of here multiple times. So when you do pass on out of this physical vessel, do intuitively what you feel is right. I think you know how to get out of here and back in, obviously, but also out. Good job. That's good to know. Complete my mission and get out. Yes. On to greener pastures where you have more free will, right? Wouldn't that be something? Could we even as humans right now, imagine a life just completely unfiltered, completely wild abandon, do whatever, experience whatever? I mean, could we even imagine? Oh my goodness. But yes, I hope that resonated for you. But yeah, you're connected, and in fact, I would argue to say that you can actually get out of here. So take notes. Banana Anna S knows the way out. All right, so now Pika Lee, we're going to pull one of these cards here for Pika Lee. What does she need to know? In alignment with her true spirit, what does she need to know? We get 2. So we have ancient. Ancient. No, Alice in a Sea of Tears. Cast away out of your depth and feeling abandoned. But we also have Orca Magic, the Akashic Libraries open. So this to me might, it really does feel like it has something to do possibly with the breakup with Taurus. Just maybe being in your feels a little bit, but truth or wisdom is being revealed to you, this card. Truth or wisdom is being revealed to you with the Akashic Libraries being open to you. The number 43 adds up to 7, which is about tuning in spiritually, learning the truth of something by going within. And this is a very like Queen of Cups type energy here. So it's like, yes, we've got the Cancer crab. We've got a little mouse there. Oh, that mouse reminds me of my dream last night. It was such a weird dream. But yeah, you might even be feeling abandoned by, God, or just what you thought life was. We all go through these little and big, sometimes dark nights of the soul where we're just feeling completely lost at sea. But when you go through these types of times in your life, you always get to the truth of something, or you learn something. There's like knowledge or wisdom encoded within different experiences for you to come out on top and come out shining and smelling like a rose. That wish fulfillment, recognition, reward, staring at me on the back of the deck. And then the moon, I've really changed my tune on the moon, where we feel controlled. Now, you're overcoming or conquering something here to where that moon may have control over. But again, with the emotions, you may feel a bit out of control in your emotions. And I would say over the next 3 weeks. So if you're not really feeling it right now, it could just be this is still on the horizon for you. But this is such a good thing to happen because you're getting to the truth of something. You're able to kind of grieve the loss of maybe things you thought were the case that are no longer the case. And that will help you move on. Wow. Oh, that moon card looks like a sun. Yeah, every time I see, yeah, doesn't it? I know, I always see the sun first, and then the crescent of the moon. Very interesting. I know, it really does look like a sun card. Especially in the kind of golden gilded coloring on the cards here today. Very cool. Oh, the orca reminds you of a dream you had years ago. Interesting. So maybe there was something that happened in that dream that is relevant or resonating with this Akashic information coming through for you. Because I would even argue that our dreams are stored in this Akashic record system as well. Every thought, every dream, every experience, everything is encoded and stored in these Akashic records within this matrix system. Very crazy. All right. Totally where I'm at right now. Your reading Wednesday helped me a lot. Oh, I'm so glad. I'm so glad. Because it's rough, you know? It's like we want things to be perfect and happy and roses, and they aren't always, though, you know? It's something to do with archives and in culture. In the dream, worshipped whales. Oh, wow. You were probably tuning into some sort of past life. That's my thought. Especially when you have dreams that, like, it's a completely different culture, but it feels so real. A lot of those times, those dreams will feel so real. Most likely you're tuning into a past life. And then you almost like spend the rest of that day when you wake up the next day, like feeling like you're in a Twilight Zone or something. It's like, this isn't real life. That was real life. What's going on? Crazy. All right. So this is the last call for donations. We've done our giveaway. We've done our drawing. We did our free collective reading at the beginning. Missy Prather. We did that at the very beginning. We did a collective reading for everybody. Well, not very beginning, maybe 18 or so minutes in probably is when I started that. Maybe less, I'm not sure when we got started. But yeah. A lot of questions today dealing with relationship stuff. So maybe, Missy Prather, if you even just scroll back during someone else's question and just see if anything resonates for you. Because sometimes that is the case. It's interesting how this all works. There are no coincidences. All right. So last call for donations. We'll give it about 3 minutes or so. And then I'm going to head into my weekend. Anyone have any good weekend plans? My brother-in-law's been here since last week. At some point last week. Might have been Friday, Thursday. I don't know. We don't see him more than maybe once or twice a year because he lives down in Vegas. Oh, Sandy paid. Okay. For some reason, I'm not seeing it here in my email, so I will go the other way I know how, logging into PayPal. And figure out Sandy's question. And Rosie has also donated. Awesome, awesome. Okay. You log in. Oops. I'll log in. Next. Okay. Waiting for my text. There we go. Oh, what? Create a new password. For why? But why? I already have a password. Oh, come on. Just let me use my old one. Oh, okay, fine. Sorry, it's taking a second. Oh no, we have an ad coming in 2 seconds. Sorry guys. Ad break, I guess. I didn't mean for that to happen at all. Let's see. I have to enter my password like 14 times. Okay. Oh, come on. I don't have to come up with a brand new password right this second. PayPal, come on, how dare you? Maybe I can cheat and go over here to PayPal on this and they won't make me do that. Oh, I just saw something come through. There's Sandy's general for Sandy. Okay. I don't have to log into PayPal right this second. It hates me right now. It wanted me to create a whole new password and everything. Why? I don't know. Okay. General for Sandy. What does Sandy need to know? Okay. So what does Sandy need to know? Tuning into Sandy's true, authentic spirit. What does Sandy need to know? We got some other one on here. Ooh, so we have something is happening very quickly. This could be a impromptu trip or travel. This could just feel like an idea that comes to you, and now you're deciding, well, I had kind of planned today to do this, this, and this, but I'm dropping everything and I'm going to do this other thing that just occurred to me. It sounds so much fun, very purposeful, purpose-driven, whatever this is. We have the Fool, the Queen of Wands, and the Knight of Wands. Yeah, you're moving into something or moving towards something. It might not even have been on your radar, but now that it is, you're ready and willing to go in that direction just to see where it'll take you. And of course, the Queen of Wands, I always call her Miss Sovereignty herself. This is someone who feels as in control of her reality as one can feel here. So if you've been feeling out of control, lost, stuck, stagnant, that's all going to change very soon for you, Sandy. This is quick moving energy. 3 wands. Very spirit-led type energies as well. Moving in a direction. So especially if you felt stuck or stagnant, these 2 cards are ushering you into a new era of movement, excitement, things going on. Maybe you're scheduling things to, I don't know, go places, or maybe even stuff online. You're scheduling things. You're feeling more passionate about what you're doing, what you're saying, people you're connecting with. It's just feeling much better. And then with the Fool card, this is about finding just like a new opportunity or a new way forward with something. Maybe you're even like what this combination here reminds me of is somebody who fills their tank of gas in the car, loads up on snacks and an overnight or 2 bag. It gets in the car and you have no idea where you're going. I've never personally done that, but I always thought it would be so fun. You just get in the car and start driving and just see where the wind takes you. Like, that's the vibe here. Like, that's the amount of excitement and adventure coming to you. Did I say venture? I meant adventure. If I said the word wrong. Like, this is very carefree, footloose, fancy-free, ready to try something new, but feeling very in control of the situation at the same time, which is a very interesting combination of feelings. Because normally when we step into the unknown, a lot of times, it's the unknown. It's kind of scary. It's kind of, okay, I guess we're going to do this. But with the Queen of Wands coming out to clarify all this, it's like you're in command, in charge, and control, even though things are unknown and new and bright and shiny. But it's not scary. It's just adventurous. It's fun energy. So if you're not feeling this way at all, this is letting you know this is coming in for you soon. Whoa. Okay, one I think fell to the floor, but let me just make sure. Yeah. Okay, so we have, this one came out though in reverse on the floor. So patience is upright. Things are moving forward. So if you felt like you've been really patient, really kind of biding your time for something, now is the time. So that being in reverse, now is the time. And then the 9 of Wands, I always call this the Olympic athlete card. Something you might have been planned or preparing for a very long time. Now it's go time. It's go time. Light at the end of the tunnel is very near. But there might be an ending in this. Because usually, when we're talking Olympic athletes here, let me skip that ad. Darn it. Darn ads. When we're talking Olympics, they train and they work and blood, sweat, and tears for their events. And then they go to regionals and nationals. And then, it's the Olympics. And then once you run your event, it's over for another 4 years. Of course, usually these Olympic athletes will get right back on that horse and start all over and train for the next 4 years from now, Olympics. So doesn't mean whatever it is you're doing here is over for good, but maybe one event or one thing you've been planning toward or working toward, you're following through, you're doing it, so then it's over, but then you can jump back in the saddle and go another round again. But again, it's going to be different the next time. And then the other two cards that came out were the Three of Cups and Justice. I actually really like this. This is like something to celebrate, something to talk about, something you're gossiping or laughing with friends with, and just a sense of balance returning to your life. So if you felt things were very out of balance, very chaotic, or maybe opposite, where things are just blah and stale and stagnant, there's like lifeblood coming into your life, life force. Could even be two younger women that you're associating or hanging out with, or if they are males, they're maybe more in their feminine energy. And what does that mean specifically? It doesn't mean someone acts feminine. It's more that they're just receptive. They're just kind of down to hang out, and that's kind of the way that we're talking about with the feminine energy. Could even be someone who's a Libra, that Libra energy here. But between now and Libra season, which if we're going to talk original Babylonian astrology, is somewhere off into late October going into early November. So between now and then, things are picking up, things are shifting, things are changing for you, so much so that it's like life, there's something worth celebrating. Life feels happier, lighter. You feel more in control of what's going on, rather than feeling out of control or stagnant or blah. Which I think this is a reading any one of us would want to get in on, because this is good stuff. And we have here the fairy ring, new skills, advanced training, and rapid improvement. So everything we're talking about, again, going to that Olympic athlete card, and now time to move forward on something. Maybe you are learning a new hobby, a new skill, a new trade, or something that you can do in conjunction with what you're already doing. But there's new skills here, advanced training. So it could be something you already know, but you're just taking it up another notch, or you're learning more, even more about it. And rapid improvements, not just, oh, there's a little bit of improvement, like rapid improvements. This could even be something you're doing like with your health, or something like big health improvement, like a big boost to your health. You're just feeling lighter and springy in your step, and just feeling a lot better in your body and in what it is that you're doing. You're just feeling just this lifeblood being breathed back into your life, which, heck yeah, let's do it. What else does Sandy need to know? Feathers with restoration. Maybe you're even restoring something with these new skills, advanced training, rapid improvements. Maybe you're restoring some furniture or some old, because to me, these feathers, you can adorn your body with feathers, or, your dress, or make earrings, put a feather in your cap and call it macaroni, Yankee Doodle. But what I'm getting with this is maybe you're even restoring or redoing some old jewelry pieces, or some old ideas that you once did. Maybe you're doing a new take on those ideas, something like this. But it feels like something worth celebrating. So I don't know if you're planning to go to some sort of like farmer's market or craft show, craft fair with your wares. But that could be a really great way to meet new people and to feel like life is exciting again, because you never know who's going to come to one of these craft fairs, craft shows, farmers markets. And it might just be a good way to meet new friends, new customers, something like this. Or maybe you're even doing this online. Could also be online. But I do see you making some sales. If this is work related, you're making some sales. Put all these back and just see anything else Sandy needs to know. Oh, no worries. Yeah, I can totally timestamp it, Peekily. Absolutely. Anything else Sandy needs to know? Ace of Swords. Anything else you need to know? You will know the truth when you need to know it. Or whatever it is you need to know, you'll know that thing when the time comes that you need to know it. Yes, absolutely, Amber. We're still here. We're hanging out. We're having fun. But also there's just like clarity here. So if you deal in a lot of brain fog, or you're just kind of like confused, unsure about your next steps, or You know, between now, again, this reading feels like it's going all the way through like November. Clarity, truth. You're seeing clearly. Maybe you're getting new glasses or something. I don't know. Something with improving your vision, both like inner vision and outer vision. Things are shifting and changing in a way that I don't think at this moment understand how big this is and how just carefree and light and airy. Like this, I haven't picked up on energy in a reading like this in a hot minute. Like this is good stuff, Sandy. This is really a fun direction. And then again, ending the reading now with her back on the back of the deck again, which we started with her in that cluster of cards. Yes, feeling very much in charge or in control of your reality, which is a good place to feel like you are, for sure. And then the King of Cups on the back, good emotional balance, or just a balance, a righting of past wrongs, just feeling really balanced in your health, balanced in your energy levels, you're getting proper rest, you have enough energy to get through a day. Like, this is good stuff. Good stuff. Heck yeah. All right. So up next we have Rosie. And then Pika Lee was talking about having a question and needing a timestamp. And then, of course, Amber, she wants to donate as well. All right. Birthday season message, please, for Rosie. And I'm not sure 100% that Rosie is here, so I'm going to timestamp for Rosie. And we're at 1:36:25 for Rosie. Okay. Oh, she's here. Cool. All right. Well, we have a timestamp for you anyway. Birthday message, tuning into Rosie's true spirit. A beautiful little worm. Take care of yourself. That card almost appears to be glowing. It's just glowing. Glowworms. Anyone remember those from the 80s? The glowworm cartoon and then the subsequent stuffed animals. Those are fun. But yeah, maybe there's some self-love, self-care you're doing, or maybe you're getting as a birthday season present or gift something for a spa day or a massage or to get your hair or nails did. But we have the number 17 on the bottom as well. Oh, it was your BFF. I love that. That's so cool. The number 17 is like healing or wish fulfillment, recognition, reward, happiness, abundance coming to you. It's the star card in the tarot. And then the twist in the tail, the unexpected, a change you did not see coming with the number 7, 34. So this is something completely unexpected, an unexpected surprise, an unexpected gift possibly, because it's going to be your birthday, but something you're not expecting. And of course, because you're not expecting it, I don't know that we can quite get what that is, because then you'd start to expect it and then you wouldn't get it. So we don't want to spoil that surprise, whatever it is. Ooh, the Lovers. Could have to do with your love life, maybe. But the very heart of this card, it's about making a choice or a decision. Let's see what this choice or decision has to do with for Rosie. Is this about her love life? Is this about something else? Ooh. Deciding to change directions, or maybe you're budgeting, maybe you are selling some things off. Being able to consolidate like debt, or just not have so much to worry about. This is someone who's done having to play like housekeeper with all these different things. Like, you're ready to clean house, clear, declutter. Maybe the choice you're making is to move or downsize in some way. I want to pull a clarifier specifically for the Four of Pentacles. It's the most like dualistic card in the whole deck. But mostly what I'm getting for this is just budgeting your money. Maybe you're cutting out unnecessary or unneeded subscriptions or like extras, but this does feel like you're saving towards something. So it's not like you're cutting things out for no reason. Like, you're saving towards something. And whatever it is, you're going to get it. We have the victory here. So recognition, reward, victory. With family, I was worried about strings attached with surprises or someone wants to shame. With others, I'm more trusting and forgiving. With fam, I'm more cautious. There you go. Yeah. But I think they've most likely proven themselves that they are weary of caution, and that's probably why. Let's just see if anything. Yeah, the surprise, the unexpected here. This feels like an exciting and good surprise, not someone pulling one over on you. It really does feel like something good, supportive. Two of Pentacles. So there's something you're kind of going back and forth about. Let's see what that might be. The Sun. So I don't know if you're even maybe planning something specifically going toward the summer. And I know you're probably more close to birthday season now rather than in the summer, but maybe something you're getting or as a gift is a trip, but it's going to take place over the summer. Or maybe you're consolidating or, doing whatever it is you're doing with your budget and your money to make that choice to be able to take a trip or do something over the summer. So something you're kind of doing or plotting or planning now during like birthday season is going to carry this wish or this whim or this idea or whatever it is you're budgeting for into the summertime. Let's see if we can get any more clarity on what that could be or anything else that needs to come through for Rosie. And we have here upper world with future. Yeah, something you're planning for your future. And it's going to involve money that you're spending on or toward your future. Let me skip that ad again. Come on, ads. Why you do this to me? We also have death with transmigration. But again, it's not literal death. This is like the death or the falling away of an old version or an old, again, clearing out what's just not serving this current season of life, Rosie, and being very successful at clearing out what's no longer serving you. So that death energy can really help us when we're ready to go to the next level or to do something completely different. And again, that might be where this choice is coming in, is you're just done playing in that small and old energy and you're ready for something new and fresh and fun and exciting. And you have the support of, the Matrix here to, bring in something that you don't see coming. But again, it's a good thing. Family member offered to cover a trip in June. So yay, but worried it's a control tactic. Let's just see their intention. Because we don't want that for you. If it is a control move, we're not looking for that. So let's put all these tarot cards back and ask for Rosie what this family member intention is with this trip in June. Yeah, and that's kind of getting us towards summertime. So that makes a lot of sense why these cards came out. All right. What is this family member's intention with Rosie? Is this for control? King of Swords. I'd say they might. It's interesting. It's either they want to get you with them so that they can actually have a conversation with you that doesn't feel like, we just two ships passing in the night on the phone or through email or text. They could have good intentions in that way, but let's just not forget also that the kings are about control. So let's just get a clarifier on this king and see if it is a control move. Knight of Pentacles. So we're taking a couple steps down from control of the king down to the knight. So I don't think it's so much about control as it is about just being able to have you with them. But then we have the queen. Wow. King and queen. So I don't know if this family member is like a mother or a father, or if it's both of them, or even a sibling. This is like sibling energy, or cousin, kind of same generation energy. Like if this is going to be a family trip in and of itself, like there's going to be multiple generations of the family involved. But it doesn't feel like, again, very communication heavy. They want to be able to talk to you. So I don't know if they're wanting to ask you questions. Their intention is to be able to communicate. They have an itinerary. Let's see. Like they have the itinerary, the reservation flight. Yeah, so I think they would be in control of like the order of operations. Like first we're going here, then we're going here, then we're going here. If that doesn't bother you, I would say this is totally fine. I keep saying I want to share because they feel lonely. Yeah, I do feel that. I really do feel that. They just want someone to talk to. But let's just see if their intention is good and if this is in Rosie's best interest. Okay, so they might say some things that just are kind of like, okay. As far as it being in your best interest, or maybe they're trying to overcompensate because they feel lonely, so they feel like they have to buy everybody's love. That could be another way we could interpret this. So it's, again, still not outrightly bad, but your best Yeah. I think you would be able to emotionally connect to this person or any of the other family members or people involved in the trip. In your best interest to go, I see you being able to fill your cup up. So it would at the very least be something that you feel rested, rejuvenated, like it was worth your time. It would be worth your time. Is it in Rosie's best interest to go on this trip with this family member? Yeah, balance. So where before we kind of had that kind of pentacles of do this way, that way, the two of pentacles, this is balancing energy. So a balancing of that energy. So I would say it would be worth your while to go. Even if this person does have that agenda that I don't want to be lonely, I want someone to go with me. But I think you're going to have a pretty good time. Yeah, that is for me. Oh, controlling for me because you're calling it a gift, but it's about them. Yeah, that's true. You're right. Yeah, they're calling it a gift, but really it's their needs with a bow on it. Like, let me put a bow on my needs and make you follow through. If you're okay with that, as far as, yeah, I don't mind going here and there and doing this and that and talking to them, and it'll be worth my while because I'll get to do X, Y, and Z, then I would go. But if you're already kind of put off because this person's calling it a gift, but yet they have all this control over it, and you're just wanting to decline, then I would follow that intuition. So whichever way you want to go with this, it's your call. As far as this being in your best interest, I do see you having something to gain emotionally from it. There's a good surprise here, which we had, whoops, this one. Good surprise. So 2 cards about an unknown surprise, and good surprise, not surprise, bad news. No, this is good stuff. And then the Lovers came out again, though, but this time in reverse. But with the 9 of Cups, recognition, reward, wish fulfillment, feeling like you're being gifted something. But the Lovers this time came out in reverse, fell to the floor, kind of slippery energy. So whatever it is you decide, follow your heart. Do what's in your best interest. But I see that if you do go on the trip, you'll have a pretty good time. You'll have an okay time, at the very least, and you'll feel rejuvenated and balanced as a result of going on this trip and then returning home. But if it's just the principle of the thing that this person's wanting to control the whole thing and calling it a gift, and you, that already puts you off and you just don't want to go down that road, then you don't have to. And you can stay home and have a staycation instead. And this person can go on the trip either by themselves or with someone else. So I would say do what feels most in alignment for you. But energetically, this birthday that you're having, most recently, this next birthday you're having, comes with a lot of growth and a lot of leveling up and transformation. And you wanting maybe to plan more for your future and budget money. And maybe you're budgeting a trip that you can go and do for yourself without having this person there calling the shots. Maybe that's what you're saving for. But I hope that illuminated what this person's intentions are. Again, yes, they do have kind of their own selfish intentions behind calling this trip a gift to you. But at the same time, I don't see that you'd have a bad time. Yeah. So do with that what you will as far as going or not. If you feel like, okay, let's do it, then do it. If not, then don't do it. But regardless of what you choose, you're going to have a pretty good time, whether you stay or go. All right. So I hope that resonated for you, Rosie. Next donation we have is Pika Lee, which she might have stepped out. So we can do your question next, Amber, if you want. Let me know what you want to do. Because you did have 2 questions. Yes, absolutely. Okay, Pika Lee can go first. Okay, so I'm going to timestamp hers because she's at work right now, I do believe. So she might have had to step out. But let's get this name on our list. So we have 149.24. Pika Lee. Okay. So her question says, strangely, the moment I sent my breakup message to Taurus, Scorpio called me. I was really surprised since I hadn't talked to him since last holiday season. It was nice to talk to him, especially since I was feeling sad about Taurus. Something seems really different about him. He did mention feeling way less stressed and much happier now that he did a few years ago. He even mentioned listening to the universe regarding how his life has improved now compared to the past, which really surprised me. Seems like he's actually listening to his intuition and trusting it. Is Scorpio evolving, and what is his relationship to my life? I'm in no shape to enter another relationship, but there's something about him that has me curious. I get this feeling that maybe he feels sorry for how he treated me. Yes, I totally feel that. Maybe he misses me. Yeah, totally. He might want that redo. Yeah, because I think at the very least, Scorpio has always thought of you as like a really good friend, and probably more at times. But yeah, let's see as far as the first part of the question. Is he evolving? Let's just get to that question first. In alignment with his true spirit, is Scorpio evolving? Yes. Yes, he's like growing up, literally. Like this is someone who wants to get married, have kids, buy the home, cross all the I's, dot all the T's. But in reverse. Dot all the I's, cross all the T's. So yeah, he's growing up. He's growing up. He's a big boy now. Yes, I definitely see he's evolving. Wow. Let's see what his relationship is to Pika Lee's life. Four of Swords. So right now it's kind of in a rest phase, meaning, yeah, you're in contact, but I don't see that either of you had planned to go hang out with the other one, which is, I think, good. I think he's maybe respecting the fact that you're having a breakup if he knew about it, or if he doesn't know about it, there's something energetically is telling him to not pounce or anything right this second. But as far as his relationship to your life, well, there is an element of healing in that Four of Swords as well. But then you have the Chariot. So you could eventually decide to pick things back up with him and take them in a more serious direction again. And this time it would be more serious because he has grown up as far as, drop my card, he knows he wants certain things in his life, and he feels like maybe now's the time to get a little more serious about his love life. So maybe that is why it's like you kind of pull your energy back from one, and the other one now feels that energy's open. But not so open that he's going to pounce and expect you to marry him next week or anything like that. But he's stepping a toe back in just to see how the water is. See if you're feeling a certain type of way. And of course, right now, you're not so much in that zone of, yeah, let's get married tomorrow. But I wouldn't count it out as far as never being able to happen in the future as far as being in a relationship again. But let's see what his relationship is to your life. Just anything else Pika Lee needs to know. Yeah, he feels that emotional bond or connection to you. He can really see you, I think, in a way, like as the mother of his children, which is weird in a way because he didn't come across that way when we read into his energy before, but now he is. It's like he's really in his feminine side right now, or just more open. Not so, I got to accomplish this, this, and this, and my career. It's just like he's more emotionally vulnerable, I guess would be the word. Yeah, he's ready to take things in a new way. He doesn't, if he did get involved with you again, he wouldn't want it to be the same because he's not the same. He's approaching this different caricature of himself almost. It's interesting. Mentioned not contacting me as much to respect my relationship, and he asked if Taurus was treating me right, and when he sensed there was trouble, he asked if I wanted to go give Taurus a talk. Oh, he wanted him to give Taurus a talking to. Aw. Yeah, I can see that. I can see that he's just stepped into a, again, more mature version of himself. But he, at this point, just might be a bit confused. Well, it's almost like he knew because you were off limits, you were with Taurus, that, well, this isn't going to happen. But now that you are available, of course, again, he's not going to pounce tomorrow because he knows you're going through this breakup. But it's like almost like it confused him because he thought he knew where he stood with you as like a friend. But now the potential or possibility for something more is there. So let's see what he's going to do with that idea of this potential or possibility for more with Pika-Lee. What is Scorpio going to do with that? I think he's going to act on it. We've got that King of Wands here. Yeah, he might eventually. I don't see it's going to come next week or tomorrow or anything, but he just may ask you out at some point, or hey, you want to get together and hang out? Maybe try to make it where he's trying to make it seem chill, and then hoping to kind of, again, I don't see that he's planning or plotting this out right this second, but this feels like this is the natural direction he's going to take this, is he might set this date or get together up as friends, but just see where the night takes you kind of thing, as far as, do I still feel into her? Does she feel into me? Like, I'll play this by ear and see how it goes. Yeah, I didn't tell him about my breakup, but I could tell he sent something. Okay, gotcha. So he's insinuated that he's interested to know if my relationship changed. Okay, yeah. I can totally tell that. But again, he's not gonna, again, propose to you in a week or anything. Like, he's still playing things cool, but yet more vulnerable than he was before. A more vulnerable version. Let's just see if there's anything you need to know, Pika-Lee, about your relationship with Scorpio and how it may evolve. Again, only according to your true spirit. Okay, yeah, there's a lot going on here. So the first one that came out was offerings with wealth. So it's like he might make you an offer of, hey, let's hang out, or hey, let's date again, or wherever that wind takes you guys. We also have here plant medicine with truth. So however it is he feels about you, which I think we already know, he's into you, even if he hasn't stated that recently. He's been into you. He's probably into you now. He'll be into you again in the future, most likely. So the truth will be revealed. He will reveal the truth to you. We also have journey with imagination and bells with deflection. But for now, with the deflection card, he might try to play it off as just kind of flirty energy. Like if you straight out, flat out ask him, hey, are you into me? He might try to deflect. But again, I don't see that there will even probably be an opportunity to do that until you're ready to, even just hang out as friends anyway. So most likely you won't have to deal with any of this kind of flirty energy until you're ready for it, if you are ready for it. But if you're not ever ready for it, I feel like he will almost deflect, like, yeah, no, I'm not ready for it either. But he totally is. So I think he'll kind of go along to get along. So he'll take whatever amount of you he can get. If that's a friend, if that's eventually dating again. I see he's willing to just kind of go with whatever it is you decide to do. Even though he wants to stand in this and ask you, hey, let's make this a thing again. He's ultimately going to go along with what you want to do. And it seems like he would be okay with that. Whether you want to be friends or more, he'll be okay with whatever you decide. And I dropped cards. But I do want to get a card or two just as far as what's in your best interest with Scorpio. So what is in Pika-Lee's best interest according to her true spirit? Okay, so hard work paying off. So I'm hearing like don't throw the baby out with the bathwater. So, things he said and did in the past, I don't see that he might repeat some of those because he has changed. We've kind of established that. And at the very least, he's a good person to have in your life as a friend. As far as your best interest moving forward, yeah, going the distance. 2 9s. This is about being close to closing out a cycle and starting a new one. But there's purpose behind this connection as well. 9s are very purposeful numbers, purposeful energy. So it's not like he's just accidentally in your life for whatever reason. There's a purpose behind it. Whether it be him being a good friend to you or maybe being something more eventually again. Who knows? But as far as Pika-Lee's best interest with where Scorpio is concerned, what is in her best interest? Yeah, follow your intuition. This is how he sees you and wants to get into a more emotional connection with you than he ever had before. That's what he hopes. um, but yeah, I would just say trust your intuition. If you feel like, yeah, a couple months from now or however long from now, you know what? Yeah, let's go on a date. Just see what happens. You might be pleasantly surprised. You just never know. Um, that's spot on. He would slip up and say something that shows his true feelings. I'll question him and he played off cool. That's so him. I mean, that's been him from day one. I really do feel that. But that part of him is still there because he doesn't want to look like a doofus. He doesn't want to look overly eager, even if he is at times, maybe. He just wants to make you comfortable. And I think that's why I think a lot of this deflection had happened in the past, is just to make sure that he wants to try to be on the same page as you, even if he's not. He wants you to think he is, so that you don't feel uncomfortable in his energy. Yeah. Let's see. I want to get one from this little deck over here before we close out. Just anything else Pika Lee needs to know about the connection with Scorpio in alignment with your true spirit, Pika Lee. Keep going. And here it is. Okay. Snow White and her animal friends. You inspire trust and confidence. Yeah, and I think that's part of that deflection, is you make him overly confident and then he has to kind of reel it back in for a second. Because you just inspire this in a lot of people, not just him, but a lot of people. You make them feel like they could do anything in your presence, like they could be the greatest version of themselves. That's a really huge gift that you give a lot of people, is you just almost act as this mirror, this light shining their highest potential back to them. If they're not ready to see that, that can be off-putting, because it's almost like, well, you expect me to be this perfect version of myself, which I don't see you get into that territory with a lot of people, but you might have in the past or will at some point, because you just see their purest potential and you will reflect that back to them. Whether they're ready to see it or not, I guess, would remain to be seen. But for the most part, people at least feel ready to see it. Whether they're going to act upon it and make it become reality or not, is remains to be seen. But I think a lot of people do want to see their highest potential reflected at them. Not everybody, but some. And you do that for a lot of people. And I think that's why certain people feel intimidated by you, because they see it more as a threat, like that lady at work. It's like she sees that her highest potential reflected back at her through you is more like you peacocking, like, this is where I am, look at me. And that's so not what you're doing, but that's how she's interpreting it. It's her you're trying to reflect back to her, but she can't see it. It's very interesting. But I hope that resonated for you. And yeah, he definitely has some feelings, but I don't think he's going to jump on it tomorrow and try to make this thing happen. Because again, he's going to give you some space until I think you're ready to reach out to him, maybe, or maybe he will reach out just kind of as a friend in the near future, and just see where it goes. Follow your intuition. All right. So Amber, and I'm going to timestamp this for you too, Amber. So 2:02:45. 2:02:45. Amber. Okay. So I have two questions. I had a weird dream last night where I saw being attacked by an energy dressed as my husband initially, but then I saw the reality, which showed me something which could shapeshift, become camouflaged as well. And how weird we're working with that shapeshifter oracle today. How weird. But when I saw the reality, camouflaged as well. Also, the attacks were energetic and not physical. I saw streams of energy coming toward me, which were not of the highest intensity. Okay, wow. So let's start there. Let's just see what this dream was trying to tell Amber. And of course, we're connecting to your true spirit. The answer coming from your true spirit. Strange companions in strange places. Challenges. Use your imagination. And it's like he was a strange companion in a strange place. A stranger place, meaning the astral. Wow. But the weird thing is, it's like the true colors start to be shown of certain people sometimes in our dream state. And especially because you did feel this was like an energy attack, I think you're seeing through to the reality of something. Whether it's something that's attached to him or his energy in and of itself, I feel more it's an attachment that kind of just almost takes him over, or kind of makes him the puppet, and this thing is like the one controlling the strings of the puppet. But let's just see what you need to know about this. First stream. Amber. Page of Wands. So there's a new opportunity to move forward with this. Yeah. Attachment to his father who came this Wednesday. Okay, gotcha. Yeah, this is something new. This isn't something that's been there the whole time. This is like a new opportunity, new energy, new entity possibly. Of course, it can work in tandem with these other old energies that have been involved from the beginning, but let's just see what Amber needs to know about this dream. 3 Cups. Now, I'm hearing nothing to worry about. So if in the grand scheme of all the psychic attacks and entity attacks you've been involved in the last whoever knows how long, this is just small stuff. It's really not going to be enough to really make any big damage in your life. Yeah, you're coming out fine from this. And you probably have already even cleared this. If you've worked at focusing on this and to be able to clear it, you can clear it. Oh, same, Amber. If you want to know what all's going on, put on 2 times speed the last live stream from Wednesday night. That'll catch you up on where I've been and what's been going on with me. Holy cow. But so many of us. Yes, attacks have been so painful. But this is not anything out of your realm of being able to deal with it or out of your wheelhouse of knowledge. You're going to be able to use your intuition to be able to clear this. Entities, I didn't. Did I say entities? Right? Yes. Same. Dude, you have to go watch the last live stream on 2 times speed to get through it because it's a long live stream. Yeah, they targeted me. They targeted my kids. We'll get back to your question, but I got to share this part. I shared this and I showed the screenshots and everything during the last live stream, but I'll just kind of paraphrase it here quickly for now. I found a curse put on humanity. It was an X with a little curly on the bottom right leg of the X. And I look up, X. I heard X marks the spot in my intuition because I was doing the shamanic self course, going back through it and just clearing my energy field and the soul contracts. I did the soul contracts module on the psychic protection one. You saw the X mentioned by Laura. Oh, wow. So I saw an X in my energy field. I saw a black cloud off to the left as well. And I heard that the black cloud was AI, and then the X with the little curly on the bottom was a curse put on humanity. And it was there the whole time, but that was the first time I was ever clear enough or tuned in enough to see it. And I found it and I saw it. And of course, I'm Googling around before I could clear it because I was being distracted. Imagine that. Being distracted. Went to clear it, but I had to be distracted because I was sick and all this other stuff was going on. But X is that unknown in math. X is the unknown in algebra. Also, what was the other thing? Oh, yeah, and then the little curly Q thing, this little kind of loop-de-loop, is in proofreading, it's the delete. It means delete. So there was an unknown curse put on humanity, which is X was kind of marking the spot for me. This is where it is. And then I'm allowed or able now to delete it. And I deleted it. But before I could delete it, I returned back to the module. I'm getting comfortable with the laptop at 87. Sorry. It was at 87%, my battery on my laptop. And I go to push play on the module as my finger's hovering. The whole laptop battery just drains to nothing. And then I get the empty battery symbol across my laptop screen. And I'm just like, this is very telling. This knows what's up. This is powerful. Of course, the only thing powerful enough to drain that much of my battery that quickly would either be a demon, a djinn, or some other, entity that can access more poltergeist type of activity. That's just been a ghost a long time or something, but it was really strong. But it was funny because I went, I plugged my laptop in for a minute or two, and then I pushed the power button to restart it, and it was bumped right up to 32%. But it still drained, 87 to 32%. It still took that much of the battery to keep me from getting on and deleting it. But from then on, I had no other issue. I pushed play on the module. I went in, I took that curse off of humanity, and then that like black dusty AI cloud off to the left as well. I took all that off. But they're working overtime right now. Overtime for so many of us. And it's very telling. It lets us all know we're on the right path. I mean, it feels almost like a punishment, like damned if we do, damned if we don't. The fact that we're clearing this stuff and cleansing our energy and clearing these entities, it's almost like we get rewarded for it by getting attacked. And that's so not fair. But that should tell us everything we need to know about the fact that what we're doing is working. Or they would just be like, oh, there's little peon Amanda or peon Amber, just who cares what they're doing? Nothing they're doing. La La Land. They're using their imagination. Nothing they're doing is working. Let them do what they're doing because it's not doing anything. Wrong. It's doing something, and that's why they care so much and why they're in such attack mode. And plus, they have been, their writing's on the wall that they got to go. Look what I got for you. Miss Sovereignty herself. I love to see this. Yeah, you have more control and more power here. And the reason, just like we were saying, they wouldn't be working so overtime right now on you, on me, on a bunch of others of us out here if we weren't doing something that was affecting them in a negative way. We were doing something positive for humanity by deleting these curses, clearing these entities, whatever else it is. Even us just trying to live our lives at this point is like an attack on them because they just can't have it. They can't help it. They can't do it with us getting involved and trying to get rid of them. They can't hack it. Been putting shields and bubbles and triangular prisms that seem, that's the thing, helping. I see 444 whenever I ask for protection. Been working on destroying contracts as well. That's awesome. Yeah, same. I got kind of sidetracked because I got really sick there for about a little over 7-8 days, something like that. Oh, you'll just have to watch the other live stream and watch on 2x speed because it's a long one. It'll get you everything you want to know about what I've been going through. And so many epiphanies came through. A whole new layer of the Matrix was blown wide open. I gave it a special thumbnail and a special title just so I wouldn't forget about it if I ever wanted to go back and watch it myself. But so much, I shared stuff. There's still stuff that I don't know that I'm ready to be another big old psychic attack, so I'm not going to say anything at all right now. Eventually I will. I know I will eventually. But wow, so much has happened. What the F? Stop sending entities. Right, they're off the chain. It's like there's been new portals open and they're just everywhere. Everywhere. But let's see anything else Amber needs to know so we can close up this question and get to her next question. Yeah, you already have this locked and loaded, mostly under control. So specific to this entity from your dream that was with your husband that you think came from your father-in-law. Again, I'm hearing like it's small potatoes compared to you. And interesting, I'm also hearing that this is more of a program than an actual entity. So it might look like an entity, smell like an entity, feel like an entity, but it's technically more like a thought form or a program that was put upon that then went and was sent to attack you. And programs are a lot less powerful than an entity. They're a lot less powerful. So that's good news, actually. And I think you dealt with whatever it was you did in the dream, even if you just felt like you got attacked in the dream and didn't do much, there's something spiritually that happened during that dream that I don't think you have to even worry about this specific entity / program again. Oh yes, I close more than 2 to 4 a day and more open. Yeah, it's like relentless, never ending. Just remember and double down in the fact that you are so powerful. That's why they're working so hard. That's why they're working so hard. Okay, second question. Advice for my in-laws visit from the true, organic, authentic spirit creator. They arrived Wednesday night. I did a powerful ritual to destroy soul contracts with them before they arrived. I feel my father-in-law had a lot of attachments as an entities to him. He is sucking out energy of anyone and all whom he can, including my mother-in-law. I'm putting strong bubble and shields, but seem they are not working that much. I am already exhausted. He is after me, Kashfi as well, to meditate and learn from him how to tackle all this until April 16th. Oh my goodness. Yeah, he's definitely there trying to take control, take charge of the household, of the situation. of even you guys learning and meditating with him. Like, that's a next level of control here. So I think that program that was directed at you from him into the dream state, obviously it was from him, but there's more here to unpack as far as the entity infestation is what I'm hearing. So it's no surprise that since he showed up and you've had all this going on, even if you started noticing some of this uptick in activity before he arrived, it's like because he knew he was on his way, it's like they were showing up ahead of time, ahead of his arrival. They're still from him though. So if you noticed a lot of activity even before he got there, that's why. It's still tied to him. It's still 50 medications a day. That's insane. Hi, May Hooper. Welcome. Wow. Yeah, he's heavily controlled by the Matrix and these entities. And yeah, completely infiltrated your house. Maybe even trying to give you marriage advice or his son advice on how to run the home, how to, do all these things. And these might even be secret or private conversations he's having with your husband on ways to get you to be a better wife and just gross, crazy things like that. Totally unneeded. I'd say don't give up, Amber. Keep going with your clearing. And something I've actually found, this is something that I did when I was sick and the entity attacks stopped. I kind of had to re-up it about every 3 hours or so because I noticed they were getting in. So after I did the bubble, the 3 bubbles with the shamanic self stuff, I pretended like those bubbles were full of like amniotic fluid. And then around those bubbles, I was like in this like uterus, like this womb. I created this womb around me. And I pretty much just called it like the womb of my true spirit to protect me. Did that, put myself in that. And then I was able to sleep finally. I was able to rest. I was able to relax. So powerful. And on top of all that, the last layer I put on, I still did the pyramid prism, but this time I made it black. I made it pure black, like obsidian or shungite, like just pure black pyramid. And that seemed to shut him up for a while. Yeah, you feel like I can just keep going with this and it's just, there's more coming. And you're probably right about that. But there's the black. He's wearing black. Black is going to be a very protective color for you, which is interesting because black normally absorbs everything around it, rather where white will reflect or refract. But something I found when I'm under like heavy attack like that is wearing black actually is helpful. I don't know why. It would seem counterintuitive. Like, no, white would be more helpful because it reflects or refracts that light or that energy out. But yeah, wearing black. And if you have like a black head, I've been wearing this specific one for day after day after day. Black cap or black hat, black headscarf helps very well. And again, I know this sounds woo-woo and out there, but it works and it's been working for me. And maybe even putting Kashvi in that kind of amniotic fluid in the bubbles and then the uterus of her true spirit around her. And maybe this is even something you can do together. Then she'll be able to empower herself when she's feeling, when you're not there to be able to help her. Giving her these tools to help herself could benefit. And you could even write out a new contract saying you're deleting all contracts with every and any entity or program or energy running through your father-in-law. And I think that would be like step 1 right now, because there's so much that you could like clear and delete without even having to come into your energy field. It just clears and deletes before it even reaches you, by writing out that all contracts and any invasion of your free will and your true spirit's intention for your pure and untainted happiness, where he's coming in to try to hurt that or make you learn from him or attack you, all null and void. It just all goes to the wayside. Nothing ever reaches you. Yeah, and that'll be healing. But I don't think that you're going to be free and clear of this until he's gone. You're going to probably have to be working day after day. And man, that's over a month still that he's going to be there. But I would just do as much as you can to work and try to separate yourself from him and what he's talking about and what he's trying to teach everybody. And learn detail from him, etc. Dissecting my whole schedule, why I work so much. Yeah, and I would just, oh my gosh, it's such a hard spot to be in. It's such a hard spot to be in. But let's see if there's any further advice we can give Amber, specifically when he's just in the family room and keeps asking Amber for things and trying to talk to her. Yeah, we have the 10 of Cups. So there is going to be a way you can separate your energy. He's getting into what I do, what not. Oh, why not? I cannot say no to him, etc. Eggshells. Okay, there's something you can do. But it to me feels more energetic or like an intention you're setting than anything you're physically saying to him or doing to make him understand to back off. Let's see what this is. What is this for Amber? What she can do? Ooh, Temperance. So definitely balance of, you know, bringing your true spirit online for protection and in tandem with all these other protections you're doing for yourself. But also, you could set up some, like what I'm seeing is him, even if he's not like cognitively aware of what he's doing, these entities are working through him. So he doesn't even need to be aware that he's got any entity attachments. He doesn't need to be aware. But what I'm seeing is you writing some sort of code or program or setting some sort of intention that before he can even form or manifest something to shoot toward you, it dissolves. Like it just, like what I'm seeing is sugar in water. Like once you pour a bunch of water into sugar, it just starts to dissolve and then it's not solid anymore. Yeah, his spirit is not there at all. Yeah, I don't feel that at all. And this is such a spiritual energy, but this is what you are doing to fix this or remedy this situation. Let's see anything else Amber needs to know. I put these right away. I just saw the Magician on the back of the deck, so just tuning into your, you know, pulling out all your bag of tricks. Yeah, because you're gonna be celebrating something. So again, that one entity program he sent to you in the other question we answered about the dream, this came out like small potatoes, ain't no thing. Can't get to you, can't bring you down. Yes, it sure feels like it right now, but in the grand scheme of your life, this is just going to be a blip on the radar, whatever is coming toward you. And I would just see if there's any way possible that you can take Kashvi somewhere, just you and her, like for the day, a day here, a day there, just to kind of break up this long time that they are going to be there to where you can recharge about. And I'm not just saying retreat to your room. I mean, that's good. If you can do that, that would be awesome. But to get out of the house, get off the premises, go somewhere. Yeah, like a play date or go out in nature or something. Yeah. I mean, how I should sit, how I should walk, what I should eat. Oh my God. That is just, that's beyond overkill. Like that's just so beyond laughable that you got to know there's something going on here. Brother Raccoon, a safe place for you to go. This is exactly what we're talking about. There's got to be a safe place for you to go. The number 4 there might be relevant. I don't know if this address would add up to a 4, like this place you're going, or, you know, even if you're going grocery shopping or something, like make that a retreat for yourself, you know. What else does Amber need to know? Mermaid in a koi pond. Rediscover your individuality. Become the dragon. I love that. And then the number 41 adds up to a 5. It's like you're becoming the, you know, the thing to be feared. And the more that he shoots at you, that you're just shooting it down, shooting it down, shooting it down, eventually those entities have to get tired. They have to. Let's just see if there's anything else or any intentions that Amber can set to just keep these attacks at bay. Dreamweaver, accessibility. Take away his accessibility to you. So this might even look like you getting rude. Like him saying, hey, Amber, sit this way. Hey, do this. Hey, do that. And you just walk past him and keep going like you didn't hear him. Take away your accessibility. Which, of course, I mean, he's in your home right now for the next month. So his accessibility to you or his access to you is very alive. Then we have altar with honoring. So I don't know if there's something if you have an altar or even just like the top of a desk or a dresser or something that you can put some protection things. If you don't have it, this would be step 1. If you don't have it, get the frankincense resin and then the little charcoal discs to burn that resin on. if you have a feather or, you know, something to kind of get that smoke around, I don't know how you'd be able to swing it if everybody was there. He might ask you what you're doing. But at this point, I would say you feeling like a weirdo in front of him would be way less than being able to combat a lot of these attacks. And of course, if these attacks and hits just keep on coming, this would be something I would say to do, you know, twice a day if you could. But again, he's going to start asking questions. So even if you can only like frankincense your bedroom and your energy, and Kashvi's bedroom and her energy, I would say do whatever it is that you can to try to keep up on some of that energy. Any other words of wisdom or advice or guidance for Amber? She is exhausted, and they are going to be there for a while. Ooh, Lotus with resurrection. I would literally ask more of your true spirit to come online. Just say, this is an emergency. I need all hands on deck. I need as much help as I can. At the very least, let's neutralize and contain him. Maybe that's something you can do, is just wherever it is he sits, or maybe just put it around his physical body, because he's obviously not respecting your free will. So at this point, his free will, he's pretty much kissed that goodbye at this point. So I would just try this and see if you see any effects. Try to put like a metal ball or sphere around him that whatever it is he's sending out, it just stays trapped in that metal sphere. I just did and saw a warrior come forward. We'll get it from the market. Yeah. I will get it. Yeah, there you go. Oh, he stays in the house 24/7. Yeah. I would just put this like metallic sphere around him that everything that comes off of him, it just stays trapped in that sphere with him. And if you feel like you can't quite get to him because his free will for some reason, then put it around the room that he's in the most. Try that. It's almost like you're having to kind of fight fire with fire at this point. Yeah, thirst in the desert, fight fire with fire. In the desert, you know, one lightning strike and that goes up because it's so dry, it's so thirsty. But there's a new beginning coming after this. You're really learning something. Let's look at the bright side. You're really learning just how powerful you are. By the time this is all said and done, he leaves your house for, you know, the next year or whatever, you're going to learn just how powerful you are during this time. I asked the protection organic spirit to come forth more help, and then I saw the warrior come forth. Oh, I love that. Oh, that's good. All right, let's get one final argument, closing statement, anything else Amber needs to know about protecting herself and her child from all of this dark energy. Shark, perception, focus, fear, and action. And this is, again, you're fighting fire with fire. You're the shark. You're the other card that we got where you're becoming the dragon, becoming the shark. You're becoming the thing to be feared. Wow. Yeah. Wow. Perception, focus, fear, action. Yeah, you're taking action here by putting that sphere around him. Try that, and I hope that helps. You can even text me to tell me that helped or not. Because at the very least, I think it will cut down on just that relentless attack. Maybe the big things can still get through possibly. And if that's the case, maybe, you know, using your imagination is going to be your key here to find the thing that's going to be the last straw that he can't get through it. Because it's what I'm hearing, like in my mind's ear, is like vampires can't come into the house unless we invite them in. I know that's like an old wives' tale or something. I don't know. I haven't met like a real literal vampire to tell you if that's true or not. But they say that. They say that in like old folklore that a vampire could not come onto the premises unless it was invited. Well, technically he's been invited, so it's like he's got free reign to do whatever he wants. But yet, no, he doesn't. Because he doesn't have free reign to attack you or Kashvi or his, you know, he doesn't even have that free reign for your mother-in-law, which that's sad that she has to deal with this guy all the time. Feel bad when I say he is, let's see. I feel bad when I say he is one for sure. Yeah, it's like, just relentless. It feels so relentless. But salmon, faith, determination, independence, and change. Yeah, it's like you are living by that faith that, okay, I am strong enough to deal with this. And that determination to not give up and to keep finding a new way. And even if it's something you've never heard of, or you're like, oh, that probably won't work, just try it anyway. Try any kind of protection or spell or ritual or whatever it is. Using physical items a lot of times does help. Like maybe pouring salt around the perimeter of the room. Again, if he's always in the room, you're gonna be, kind of maybe trying to distract him while you're trying to protect yourself, or putting up those energetic boundaries around him, around you, around Kashfi, that can definitely help. His entities, it's like eventually, because you're so strong, you're so powerful, eventually they have to relent. They have to pull back a little because they only have so much power. They got to go get more power first, But yeah, you have more power here. Look at that. Yeah. You have more power here than you are giving yourself credit for. And you have more potential and power to protect your home, protect your daughter, protect yourself while he's there. And you might even see, because this is what I'm seeing in my mind's eye, you might even see just kind of a drop off of all the attacks. And yeah, he's still annoying. He's still there, but like it's nowhere near what it's been. So you might notice that. You might notice that things just kind of calm down, or at least kind of stabilize, like coming up, like within the next few days, especially if you're doing all this protection and all that. You'll see that stabilize. Yeah, but it's going to take a lot of exhausting work on your part to just keep diligent about it and to shift the focus, not from the fact that, oh, he keeps attacking, and instead shift that focus to, well, I have another spell, I have another protection I can do. I can, putting that power back in your seat of power, that's going to help. Shifting your focus onto not so much of, oh, this sucks, why is he doing this, to instead, well, this is my job now. So I'm going to treat this like it's my job, and here we go. Away we go. And eventually it will settle down because it needs to also go recharge and get powerful again too. So, and I would say also make sure your self-care is on point, meaning you're getting enough rest, you're getting proper food, proper hydration, all the things that can keep you on your A game as far as protecting yourself. Make sure you're doing those things if you can. But it will end. It will end for sure. Whether this, interesting, he might, or they might decide to leave early before April 14th or 16th or whatever day it was, 16th. They might decide to leave early. And that would be, closing the cycle early. Ending it. Going, oh, well, while we're in the area, we want to go do this other thing. Wow. So maybe you even setting that intention, you're not wanted by, just your intention when you put these bubbles around his energy to keep them from getting to you. He'll get the memo eventually that he's not wanted, and that human part of himself might make that decision to up and go. Even if he doesn't understand why, and he's not going to blame it on you. Like, you made me feel unwanted, so now I'm leaving. No, his human self has no idea. Yeah, they might go somewhere else. Where that might be, I'm not sure. Let's see if we can get an idea. Where might this be, this other place they might go? The world. They might just go back home early or travel a great distance. This is a great distance. But victory, there's a victory in when they leave, for sure. So if they do hold out to the very last drop, the very last minute, when they leave, your house is yours to reclaim and cleanse and clear again. He lives close to NYC. Where they take a flight to India. Yeah, victory. Yeah, victory will be yours. It's just a matter of how tired will you be by the time he finally goes. One closing card. Anything else? Yes, there's another death card. Transmigration. It's gonna happen. The end will come, whether it's the 16th or well before. Heck, wouldn't that be nice if If it was tomorrow, he's like, yeah, I don't like this place. I don't like this. I don't want to be here anymore. Bye. It was nice knowing y'all. We have bones for casting with divination. So a lot of the answers that you're needing or help that you're needing, you can get through divination, through your tarot cards, through that kind of thing. Or even just your intuition as to how do I, do a spell to keep him away. And then we have medicine wheel with continuation. But this is a continuation of you maybe even being able, this is big, Amber. You being able to send a steady supply of source creator, the original source creator energy to do the work for you. So you're not the one having to do the work 24/7. Tarot cards, if he sees them, he'll freak out and call me witch, right? So of course, comfort of your own room or comfort of your own private space if you can. Or even there's even like tarot apps online. I think it's called freetarotreading.com or something like that. I think it's just the major arcana they use on that. But hey, desperate times call for desperate measures. Crazy, man. Yeah, but I see you being able to actually set something in place energetically that the original source creator's energy will come down and protect you, so you're not having to re-up that every few hours. There's got to be a way. Where there's a will, there's a way. So you might just get desperate enough that you're pulling out all the stops, you're trying everything you know. And you somehow, some way figure out a way to keep that steady stream of protective energy coming from the original source creator that's just going to hold him off. And yes, maybe he's a nuisance, maybe he's annoying, maybe you don't want to hear what he has to say, but at least you're not being attacked, And I have a feeling you're going to be able to figure that out. So just try, throw the spaghetti at the wall, see what'll stick. And of course, if something sticks or something works, you'll have to let us know so we can try it in our own lives, because these are tools we all should be wielding on the daily for our own protection. Because we might call it a job loss. We might call it, the spouse yelling at us. We might call it this or that. But what the truth of it is, it's psychic attack. And when we are doing well in our own lives, they will start then attacking our children, our spouses, our mothers, our friends. They'll find a way in. So it's up to us to be the diligent ones, to keep our energy protected and clear and clean from all the dirty, yucky entities out there, because they are everywhere at this point. I would even argue that the astral realm is completely collapsed and we're just living in this soup of entities. We can feel them. We can sometimes see them. I know I can. You can just sense them around. My dogs sense them all the time. Even things I don't sense, they are there. And then there's other stuff I do sense that I know is there. I can sense it. But then there's stuff that I can't. I sense it, but I don't see it. Difficult to get to me. They use cosplay for sure. Yeah, which is like, that's putting a woman in mama bear mode. You don't mess with her babies, or else you mess with the bull, you get the horns with that. So really, they're doing you a service by messing with her, because then your real true power can come out when they start messing with your kids. Yes, I stopped sensing that them. Cashie actually sees them with her naked eye. Yeah, I do from time to time. But it's more like a sense of knowing that there's something there, and even kind of seeing it in my mind's eye, like what it might look like, how big it might be, these types of things. But it was weird because this was a while back, and I think I even talked about this probably about 3 weeks ago or so, maybe 4 weeks ago at this point. I was just walking, waiting for my husband and kids to get home. My dogs were here with me, but they went outside, and it had just kind of gotten dark outside. And I'm just getting some steps in, walking around the house. And I just got this overwhelming fear of something kind of off to this side of the living room. That there was something there, and I just was terrified. And I don't just get overcome with this sense of terror for no reason ever. So I knew something's there. I could sense it was very, very dark energy. And I was like scrambling over myself to get to the door to let the dogs back in so I wouldn't be so afraid. And sure enough, the second the dogs came in, the thing left. But I did some frankincense clearing after that event, and I haven't sensed it since, thank goodness. But my gosh, something I watched on Netflix, and this is a few years back. It was the Night Stalker thing on Netflix with Richard Ramirez. And for probably 2 months after I watched that, every time I'd come back and let my other dogs that have now passed away out right before bed, I'd come downstairs, it'd be dark outside, I'd let the dogs out, they'd go out, they'd come back in. But in the time that I'd have to open the door for the dogs to go either in or out or back in again, I'd just become like almost panicked, like my heart would start racing, and I'm like I could see in my mind's eye Richard Ramirez running onto my porch and coming in and attacking me. And this is another way these entities work. They will, flights of fancy and, all these really horrible scenarios will start playing out like in your mind's eye, either tied to a specific event. Me opening my door at night to let the dogs in would let some creepy character in. They'll use the things that they think we fear, because they have access to all of that information, against us. So, but every time that would happen, not every time at first, but like after a while, I started just saying, things that would really put me in my power. Like, it's not real. I'm not afraid of you. Sure, come in and kill me, but I'm more powerful, And then eventually it just kind of lost the grip. Like, I'd still see it in my mind's eye, but it just wouldn't get a reaction out of me after probably 2 weeks or so. But it went on for like 2 months. Like, it was a long time. And they will check in. They'll check in just to see if you really are overcoming something. And they'll, even if they, it's gone away for a while, it just might kind of rear its head again and come in, which it has a few times over the years since then. And I'm like, yeah, that doesn't scare me anymore. Good try, though. Good try. I appreciate your effort and diligence for testing that it doesn't scare me anymore. Stupid things. Oh, why can't we live in a better place? We came here for a reason, I guess. So we're living the dream. All right, you guys. Well, we have another ad coming up. So I'm gonna skip that real quick. But I will be back here hopefully Wednesday, barring no more psychic attack or illness. I will be back. If you did miss the more recent live stream I did last Wednesday, I think I labeled it something like discovering another layer of the matrix or whatever. Feel free to watch that. There's so much that came through for that I think everybody needs to know, just about the nature of what's going on right now and the nature of reality. Is just like, boom. Bye, Amber. Have a good one. So if you did miss that, and hot tip, you can watch it on 2x speed to get the information quicker and not have to watch an almost 4-hour live stream. And it's not even just at the beginning until I start taking readings. And I think we only had 2 donations that night. And then we did our giveaway and stuff. But even at like the between readings and at the end, like I was talking about things that were really relevant. We uncovered how to run our Babylonian birth chart information, which is the most accurate birth chart information you can draw about yourself. And it basically proves that we almost have no free will here, that everything is scripted, everything plays out according to those stars placed where they were placed in, above our heads when we were born. And so much so that, do we even have free will? I would say yes, just a slight bit, because we do have that true spirit that came through with us, that is here, that is the rogue. It's gone rogue, and we are here with it. And the more we can focus on that rogue part of ourselves, that inner spirit that is not under control of the matrix, the better off we're all going to be. It doesn't just benefit you and your family, you tuning into your true spirit. It benefits this whole reality. So give it a go. Tune into your true spirit. Become best friends. Become it. You are it. That is who you are. It's just we've forgotten. We've forgotten who we are. So we need to remember who we are and get to the truth of that and use this matrix against itself to bring it down. We're here to dismantle, not to fit into this wicked web they have weaved. All right, I've said enough. I love you guys. Thanks again so much for all those likes, comments, shares, subscribes, donations, and all the things. And I really, truly do hope to see each and every one of you right back here at Harmony Portal Tarot Live. All right, I'll see you next Wednesday, hopefully. Bye.